Hello and welcome to the Heidi Glaus Show, minus Heidi again. Bob and Josh are here with you, and Connor's pushing the buttons today. Bob, how are you?
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm really good. It's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. And it's summer, so I'm starting to look at my weekend plans, mostly filled by pools. And if the weather holds out, we've been practicing for a month and a half, but with rainouts and everything, if the weather holds out, we'll have Finn's first baseball game.
Awesome T-ball, right? Or coach pitch.
It's T-ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 5. Some of the kids are 4. Other kids are 6.
That's
so
great.
We'll have our first game with the uniforms. We're getting team pictures and everything.
Nice. The journey begins.
The journey begins, and since there's been so many rainouts, we'll have one on Saturday morning. I'll miss most of that because of the yard sale, and then we'll have one on Sunday morning. So, now I feel like one of those parents of a kid on a baseball team.
You mean good American parents, yeah.
Baseball every day, all weekend, no time for anything else.
Oh, what a baby.
Baseball.
Wait, dude, everything's about your kid now.
Yeah,
and that's
really
how
is.
it's supposed to be.
Really is. So,
and it's one game.
We are on both days.
2 hours.
We have been trying to figure out if he's left-handed or right-handed.
That was going to be my next question. Any progress?
So he writes left-handed. He colors left-handed. He throws for the most part left-handed. So we've got him a glove for that hand. But then at the plate, we were trying to figure it out. And at practice the other day, she sent me a text. My wife. She goes, "Boy, he really knocked the cover off the ball from the right side." So I think we're gonna see how it goes on the right side of the plate. Which I bat lefty. I'm right-handed, but I bat lefty.
He's the opposite.
Is there a thing in baseball where you're left-handed but you bat from the right?
Yeah, it's not as prevalent, but yes.
And then
Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, really? Okay, he throws left, but he bats right. Okay. All right, I'll have to check that out next time he's at bat.
Oh, it throws left, bats right. No, he bats left. He throws right, bats left.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you.
Like me, my sister's the same way. I guess my dad taught us. Jim Edmonds does that. My dad taught us all, hockey stick left. I golf left. I bat left, but I'm right-handed, and so I'm wondering, does it work in the inverse?
How is Finn's throwing with the left hand?
It's good. I mean, it's kind of the same with the right hand, but
maybe
like I
he's
said,
ambidextrous.
All the utensils. Maybe he is.
Could be.
Can I cash in on that? When I told everybody he's left-handed, they're like, "Oh, get him into baseball as soon as you can."
Twice as many, left-handed pitching, yes, but hitters that are left-handed often get platooned and don't bat against left-handed pitchers often. Now, some really great players, like the aforementioned Jim Edmonds, they hit against everybody. So don't necessarily buy into that. Let him find his own way.
Okay, we got plenty of time.
Yeah, you do.
And we have 2 games this weekend, as I said.
That's exciting. If you don't want to go, I'll go.
Well, we play out in St. Charles, Bob.
Yeah.
I'll send you the address.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to that. You guys have any weekend plans?
No. Oh, here's why. My garage door fell on me in my car last night.
No, the Bronc?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But no marks, no problems. It's just the door is a disaster. Cable broke.
Okay.
As I was pulling in. Boom! Those metal garage doors are really loud. And so got a guy coming over tomorrow. Gary's coming over. He's going to take care of everything.
So my first house in Newtown, our starter house, we were neighbors, and I knew the guy ahead of time. And we like to give each other trouble. And he drives a truck for one of the local grocery stores. And so he comes over to look at the house, and I'm like, I got an issue with this and that, and my garage door is doing this. And he said, okay. And I called the garage door guy over, and he fixed it or whatever.
Oh, good.
And then my buddy comes back over. He lives right behind us. Come back over, having a beer and everything. And I told him, oh, yeah, the garage is busted, so we did this. And he goes, Well, you should have asked me. I used to work for Barry Door for 20 years.
Well, why didn't you say something, Bub?
Why didn't you say something? So every time, a pin falls out or a screw comes loose, I drag him over to the house and he reinstalls it. So it was just so funny because I expressly explained my issue. And then he's like, all right, well, have a good night.
Yeah, so the garage door smashed on the back of my car.
Any damage to the car?
No, I couldn't find any. We'll see when I put the top back up if something's a little out of line or whatever. Anyway, but by lifting it off the car to pull the car all the way in, everything's just kind of, because the one cable's still taut, the other one's gone, so everything's now wonky. Pieces are falling off. It's a mess. It's really a mess.
You live in a cul-de-sac, though. Are you worried that the door is going to be open?
Well, we pulled the remnants all the way down.
Okay, so if you try to pull it up, it'd be a mess again.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
Connor.
It's a disaster.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Well, good luck with that.
Gary's a pro, and he'll take care of it.
Connor, you got any big plans this weekend?
Yeah, I'm actually also going to be at a kids' t-ball game.
This is Americana, 250th anniversary, and you guys are all you need now is to have some apple pie after.
No, you're
my
not.
nephew's t-ball game. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Maybe we'll see. It's a little early on Saturday.
Is it out in
Maybe
St.
I'll just
Charles?
go for the lunch afterwards.
Maybe we're playing against each other.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's in St. Charles.
Okay. Well, we'll have to text each other, and you'll tell
Maybe
me.
we're playing each other.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of personal involvement in the team as of yet, but
I need to get some swag.
You may need to help coach, Connor.
I don't think they're going to need me to help coach. No.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my.
What
What do you, a brother-in-law? Is that technically his sister's
Oh, I love
husband?
this. Oh, I love this. Okay,
So I guess that's a stepsister's husband.
What's the relationship again?
Stepsister's husband. So I guess brother-in-law.
Your stepsister, which means that
You got an extra hyphen in there if you want. Step-brother-in-law.
Step brother-in-law.
your mom's new husband's daughter
Yes.
is your stepsister,
Yes.
and her husband to you would be nothing, right?
Well,
Officially.
He'd be Jason, right?
I suppose. That's why I asked.
But blended families are awesome.
Well, they do it all.
Everybody-
Yeah, they do it all the time.
Not a big deal. In fact, my wife's stepsister and her husband are just tremendous people. Love hanging out with them. They're great. Usually only see them at the holidays, but they're awesome, and it's really cool.
And did they become step siblings later in life?
Later.
As adults. I wonder if that's easier than when you're kids.
I think maybe they were teens or early 20s, so not kids, though.
Yeah. I wonder, because there's got to be some resentment when your parents get divorced and, within...
Let's don't bring the show down, Josh.
I know. But I wonder if people struggled or if people are like, hey, my dad got remarried and I love my stepbrother and sister. I'm sure that's out there.
Well, if you see the movie Step Brothers, you know it's not always smooth sailing.
But then it gets really good. Then
Voice like an angel.
Yeah. My foray into this is the Brady Bunch.
Oh.
Yeah, the classic American blended family. All right, today on the show, let me tell you, Victor Ford, New York Times and The Athletic journalist. He regularly covers the San Francisco 49ers out in the Bay Area, but he went down to Vegas for a day to watch the enhanced games. This is the
perfect town for it.
Yeah, right. Sin City. This is the tournament, Olympic style, I guess, tournament of people who took every drug under the sun they could to give them an edge, and not always did it end up where the person who was juiced up won the match. So they had a couple of competitors who said, "I'm going to stay clean, and I'll see how we do against the guys who are all jacked up." But we'll get Vic's interpretation of what the enhanced games were, why they even happened in the first place.
There's the big question.
Who put them on, and will we see a second annual next year? Scott Isringhausen is with the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. He's their urban fishing coordinator. You've heard the commercials here on the Big 550. The 37th annual Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair at Pier Marquette is next Saturday, June 6th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. He's going to come in and talk to us about that. Mike Ward on Wine. We're going to have a Rocco Wines, and it is, Oregon Wine Month in June, and just in time because
All over the country or just in Oregon?
well, it's a chance for us stiffs here in Missouri to branch out and try some Oregon wines. Heidi's going to swing by some wineries in the Willamette Valley. And I believe Mike is going out there, or has been out there very recently. So he'll tell us about Oregon wines. A lot of Pinot Noir comes from Oregon. Brendan's going to join us. The Cardinals are on TV for free all this weekend. So if you don't have a cable package that carries the games like I do, I guess I don't.
What are they on?
They are on Matrix Midwest tonight.
What is that?
That is the Channel 4 offshoot, but are they on 4?
If you have cable, where do you go?
I think they simulcast them.
So just say Channel 4.
So it'll be on Channel 4, but
There
I think you, if you have the package, whatever your charter is, $235 or whatever it is, I think you get it too.
Oh, so it doesn't affect me at all.
No. And
good.
then Sunday Night Baseball, they'll be on NBC. And then I think ESPN's got a game on Saturday. Brendan will tell us all about it, but Albert Pujols will be calling one of the games. I think he's going to be on NBC.
And a tease, I'm not going to release what it is, but a teaser, Cardinals are making moves.
Moves. Okay. Good moves, bad moves, dismantling
Brendan
the
Lacey
team.
will tell us all about it at 4:40.
St. Charles Goodfellas is a group that raises money for kids, and John Courtney and Sean Ledbetter are going to join us in studio to talk about their upcoming golf tournament.
They just walk around and give money to kids. Hey, here, buddy, here's a 20.
It's better than that.
Okay.
It's better than that.
How could it be?
More heartwarming than that. And then Royal Oaks with ABC is going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour. He's got a roundtable of legal things that he wants to discuss, so we'll jump in on that. Now, have you seen... I talked to Jill about this earlier today, filled in for an hour with Jill, because Steve Savard was unexpectedly called away at the last moment. The Great American State Fair. Have you seen this story, Bob? At the National Mall for America's 250th birthday, the lineup was announced on Wednesday, and then people all of a sudden started dropping out and giving their reasons. A lot of them had said that they thought it was going to be a nonpartisan event, and people have Brett Michaels and Martina McBride. I'm paraphrasing right now, but they said things have changed, and they were very cagey about the reasons for dropping out. But my thing is, the Great American State Fair. Milli Vanilli was one of the bands. You know, I don't want to get too catty here. But when's the last time you ever
They dropped out anyway, though. So
they're out. But one of the...
That's why.
Milli Vanilli famously called out because they didn't sing their own songs. And that was 30 years ago. And then I think one of the Milli or Vanilli, one of them passed away in the meantime. So I would question the lineup to begin with. Martina McBride, Brett Michaels, Young MC... The Commodores, good. They're good. These are good bands. Questioning the inclusion of Milli Vanilli. So I wonder...
But the question is now moot.
Question is moot. And I think that so far, still playing the shows, Vanilla Ice is still on the lineup. And it was Young MC as of right now. Young MC, I think, is still going to play this thing. But we'll have to see what happens with this thing, because they just dropped the lineup on Wednesday, and all of a sudden, half the people have dropped out. Or they said, well, my agent said it was just going to be in D.C. They didn't say it was going to be part of this thing. I don't know why that would change anything, but... we'll see how this thing shakes out over the weekend. And it also said TBD, so the possibility to add more artists in the future. So we'll see how that thing goes.
Somebody may jump in there to get the exposure with the gap left in the lineup. That'd be good for them. Smart move.
Where's Kid Rock? I would expect him to be
He might be playing somewhere.
He might be, yeah. It's like a 6-week long thing. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Speaking of music, you guys know that we like music on this show. And I know that the listeners like music.
I have several in entertainment. No, go ahead.
You have Roger Daltrey of The Who?
Yeah.
You do.
Let's get into it. I got tons of stuff.
So Roger Daltrey, lead singer for The Who, has quoted some people and says that they were the very first heavy metal band, The Who. Came out in the mid-'60s, got huge in the late 60s, early 70s, and I don't know when the last time they played together.
Well, here's the deal. He says they're the first heavy metal band. Most of those who cover music, like with Rolling Stone magazine and other writers, typically, it's not universal, but typically credit Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf to be the first heavy metal song.
Okay.
Now, Roger Daltrey is saying that they did Live at Leeds in 1970, the first heavy metal album. Does that trump Steppenwolf with the acclaimed first heavy metal song? And then later in 68, the Beatles did Helter Skelter, intentionally doing heavy metal song. Now, so I think it's still murky and not clearly obvious.
I would say, and any artist that you talk to would say, oh, I don't like labels. We don't want to be labeled.
And I think that's fair, by the way.
But Roger Daltrey's, nominating himself for this label.
Well,
I would say the first metal band, first heavy metal band, Black Sabbath.
No chance.
Not Jethro Tull.
Did you just ignore the data I just put in front of you?
One heavy metal song does not make a heavy metal band, Bob. The Beatles are not heavy metal by any stretch of the imagination.
I think Steppenwolf would disagree with you that they're not one song.
Half of that White Album is songs for kids.
Period. New paragraph. I think Steppenwolf would disagree with you about that album in 1968.
Okay. The same album with Helter Skelter is also the one with, what was the one? Octopus's Garden. Not a heavy metal song.
All right, period. New paragraph. Address Steppenwolf,
yes,
or you lose all credibility.
I don't know enough about Steppenwolf.
So maybe you shouldn't be taking a position.
Born to Be Wild, Magic Carpet Ride.
Perhaps.
Okay. I would almost give The Who first hard rock band, but I think that's reserved for Led Zeppelin, widely regarded as the first hard rock band. Who was harder? Who was more metal? Zeppelin or The Who?
Are those two distinctly different labels, or do they
metal
cross
and hard
over?
rock? I think they're different. I think The Who is a hard rock band, but they were around for a long time. I would almost give The Who the first punk band, the first punk rock band, but I think that would be reserved for the Kinks. Or even the Trogs, remember?
Yeah.
Wild Thing?
That's not punk, though.
I think it's early.
I think it's early. I think the Kinks
definitely take it.
Yeah, to me.
You really got
me.
me.
I'm not a music writer. I don't work for any of those magazines, never have. So probably not qualified to give a definitive answer here. However, the Kinks were the first band that came to mind when you mentioned that.
So regardless, I think that The Who claiming, or at least Roger Daltrey claiming The Who to be the first heavy metal band, we just listed a bunch of different genres. I don't think they were the first of any of them. They ebbed and flowed through all of them. I mean, it doesn't get any harder than some of the Who albums in the early 70s. But I don't know if I'd give them the first. So
to me, Zeppelin is more hard rock.
I think Zeppelin's the first hard rock band, and I think that that Ozzy and those guys, I think they probably put their stamp on heavy metal.
By the way, I was lucky enough to see The Who at Busch Stadium. Gosh, has it been 35 years ago? My goodness. They were the first band that I ever heard that solved the acoustics problem at Busch Stadium. They sounded brilliant.
And I rest in peace, Bob Heil. I think we could thank him for The Who sounding like that because he was their sound engineer for all of those years.
Oh, interesting. And then whatever they did, the Stones shortly thereafter followed and must have been doing the same thing because they sounded great as well. Back in the 70s, and when I was going to concerts there, it was terrible.
Bad sound?
Oh, terrible.
At the old Bush Stadium, Bush 2.
Memorial.
Bush Memorial. I think it's funny to think of, I saw a documentary about The Who, and Roger Daltrey is famously a straight edge. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do drugs. But the entire band around him probably did just enough for him and probably a dozen others.
They had him covered.
So I always like to think of Roger Daltrey coming up to the hotel room and just, all right, fellas, the vans are here. I need you to meet me in the lobby in 5 minutes. Peter, you looking at me? Hello? 5 minutes. Everyone needs to be in the lobby. Chop, chop. I'll be back in a second. Don't go anywhere. And then just the 3 other guys just completely doing their own thing and just wondering, imagining Roger trying to corral those 3 puts a smile on my face. It's 3:31. Let's check our first look at traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky in the traffic center. Captain Paul, who do you think's the first heavy metal band?
First heavy metal band. How about the sound of old T-Rex?
Oh, I think they're a punk band.
Are they?
Or glam rock. How about first glam rock band?
Glam rock?
Yeah.
Like the 80s?
It started in the 70s, though.
Oh, it did?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe Europe?
Well, we've got one nomination for Europe. All right. Paul, how are the roads?
Well, Josh, 70 West is slow from Route A to 64. There's debris on 64 East before Spady blocking the 2 left lanes. And in Caseyville, Illinois, 64 East is running slow from 111 to 157 due to road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis, so if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living, or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Great story about Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. One of the wives called up and said, hey, we need an electrician. Call Michael Baldy. And the husband said, no, I can do it. Well, the wife overrode the husband, called up Michael Baldy at 314-968-9999. Maybe she checked the website first, baldyelectric.com. So Michael Baldy came out to the house. While he was at the house, the husband says, well, since you're here, I've got 3 or 4 other jobs for you. It turned out to be an all-day affair. They took care of everything. And so, no, the husband couldn't get it done. Good thing the wife called Baldy Electric, and now the whole house is fixed because of one simple phone call to Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. Indoor, outdoor, brand new commercial building, an old Victorian home, it doesn't matter. Michael Baldy and his team of electricians will take care of you. 314-968-9999, Baldy Electric, or baldyelectric.com.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They could send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on? It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. We are in our peak selling and buying season right now. I'm paying top dollar for pristine, low-mile cars and motorcycles, especially Corvettes, Porsches, sports cars, and luxury cars. I'll buy classics, too. Hop on our site and submit your vehicle. Downsizing, estate liquidation, we'll even buy entire collections. If you're in the St. Louis area, I'll come to you and inspect, make an offer on all your vehicles if they're in great condition. You can submit those through our site, too, mastercarsinc.com. We are buying, selling, and trading every day for 3 decades.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit mastercarsinc.com to get more details. That's mastercarsinc.com.
Don't miss a day filled with fun and educational activities for the entire family at the Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair, Saturday, June 6th from 10 to 4 at Pierre Marquette State Park, just past Grafton, Illinois.
There's an amazing 4,000-gallon mobile aquarium on site with fish species found in the Illinois and Mississippi rivers. The kiddos can enjoy a catch-and-release bluegill pond, the one cast station where everyone wins a prize, and a bow fishing station where children can shoot moving targets. Appearances from Hall of Fame fisherman Jimmy Houston and Tim Garrity, the mountain man from Duck Dynasty. Live music throughout the day and food and drink available for purchase. Admission and parking are free, and no fishing license or fishing gear is needed.
That's the Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair, Saturday, June 6th at Pierre Marquette State Park near Grafton. For more info, call 618-786-3323 or visit dnr.illinois.gov.
Oh, that's the old Sports Center theme. Last Sunday in Las Vegas were the enhanced games, and where many competitors took, I don't know, I guess as many steroids as they possibly could in the hopes of breaking a world record. How did it actually turn out? Vic Tafur is a writer with New York Times and The Athletic. Generally, Vic, you cover the San Francisco 49ers. We'll ask about them in just a second, but you took a trek on down to Vegas to experience this. What are the enhanced games?
Well, it's a good question. It's an effort, I think, really to sell some drugs to the public. There's, performance-enhancing drugs, like longer life kind of deal. I think this is a mechanism. They're hoping to promote these drugs through these games, these athletes, and they're paying a lot of money for some former Olympians to try and set some world records.
And then what were the rules, if any?
Well, the rules were basically, so I think there was 42 athletes. I think 36 of them were on the stuff. So they went for 4 months to Abu Dhabi for like an intensive training program and a medical process where they were taking a variation, a cocktail of 5 different PEDs based on which was good for you, on a medical supervision for 4 months and training and everything. And they came back and then, they kind of were trying to get the best version of themselves with a little bit of help.
Yeah, so in your reporting, I assume PEDs have evolved, first of all, since football in the 70s and 80s, and then, of course, the baseball scandals. Is there still back knee and roid rage and all those kinds of things associated with the current evolution of PEDs?
It's a good question. The athletes we talked to, some swimmers and weightlifters that were there, like I said, at this point, there were no side effects, but this is going to be like a study where this is done throughout this year and even 4 years going forward of the effects of these drugs. So that's another, they're kind of making this work as far as the public consumption. Like, this is actually not risking our health. We're going to try and under medical supervision, see what these can do. And obviously, skeptics will say it's a bunch of crap. But the Olympic people will say that they're just trying to cheat and then making excuses or whatever. So that's still some gray area as far as the effects of these things, and if they are healthier than they were back in the day.
So these drugs are shunned or outright banned from most all sports, including the Olympics. But are they legal? Like, is this something that we could buy over the counter, or something that Bob and I could talk to our physician about and get a prescription?
Yeah, there are some variations. I think that not everything that was used in Abu Dhabi you can buy at the counter, and they haven't really disclosed exactly what was used. They say that's going to happen in the coming months. These study results will be released to the public, and people will see what they can and can't buy. But if you watch the games on TV, they're on YouTube and on Roku, and you click onto the links and the website, there was things you could buy. There's a pharmacy online through the Enhanced company, which is selling things that promote, better focus and longer life and all these things that they say these drugs can help you with. So it's not a one-to-one correlation like, hey, this guy just book a world record, I want what he's having. You can't quite do that quite yet, but I see that in the future. That's probably what they're looking at down the road.
This might be a hard question, but sports is your career, so I would respect your thoughts on whether or not any of the enhanced athletes would be considered at any level a world-class athlete without the PEDs, and maybe what was, in your estimation, the best athlete there, regardless drugs or no drugs.
Well, the best guy there was probably the guy who set the world record in the last race, Christian Golomeyev. He's actually been a big-time swimmer for a while, and I'm not sure how much help he needed, but obviously got a little boost. I think it's a quick question because I think this is the first time these games happen, so you're not going to get like the top guys. Everyone's kind of skeptical of the rule. So all these guys were retired swimmers or former Olympians who had got silver medals or obviously had some legit credentials but weren't really at the top of the game right now. So I think you look at these guys and there's some personal best set, some personal records were set, but not the world records they wanted. So I think the goal, I imagine, next year will be to get a better caliber of athlete, maybe raise the stakes a little bit. And then we saw a couple of days ago they announced there's a $10 million bounty who can break Usain Bolt's record. So definitely there's a lot of money behind this endeavor. And so I think the next step is to get better athletes who can maybe make a bigger difference with the help of these PEDs.
So you mentioned the bounty. There was a $1 million bounty on new records set. Only one athlete at these games did that. Right at the end, you said this 50-meter freestyle swimmer broke a world record. But the idea itself sounds like a joke or possibly something that was done by SNL in the 80s with Phil Hartman. But what if we had an Olympic Games where all the athletes were juiced? So it kind of sounds like a joke, but to your point, they're trying to sell some of these supplements and these drugs over the counter. So what is the point of trying to prove that you could break world records using steroids and drugs? And is it truly just to sell some stuff at the end of the day?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Also, I think the idea is what you're selling to the public is look, with these drugs, with these helps, we can be better versions of ourselves. And so if you want to see someone set a world record with a little bit of help, and I think I guess they're in their minds, the majority of the public would like to see that. They want to see a guy break Usain Bolt's record if he has help or not, and they want to see what guys can do with the help of science. And again, so much has changed in this field, with the drugs and enhancements, and then who knows where it's going to go in the future. So I think it's all about where are we going to be at in 10 years from now? Is it going to be all athletes going to be using enhancements in the Olympics, or where's this going? I'm not sure we really know the answer to that. So this was kind of a circus. It was kind of a freak show. It didn't quite work out the way they wanted, but I think some seeds were planted. We're like, you know what? Next year we'll tweak it. We'll have more money behind it. Maybe some, maybe a current world-class sprinter will go for Usain Bolt's record, and we'll get some more buzz. So it's not going away. There's so much money behind this that I think we're going to be pushing this for a while and see where it goes.
And to your point, the top Olympic athletes currently who are supposedly clean, we'll say that with an asterisk, they're not going to do this because they still want to compete at the highest levels and be able to pass all their drug tests. So it was a lot of people coming out of retirement and all this stuff. But if there's a $10 million bounty on beating Usain Bolt's record, what if Usain Bolt took some PEDs and then went out there and gave it a shot.
There you go. That's a great idea. So I just think there's so many things you can do with this thing and going forward. Now, obviously, I think one of the reasons this may work or may have better success in the future is because there's not a lot of money behind the sports now. Like the swimmers are telling me, and the track and field guys, like the idea of getting this kind of, even for a first place in the race this weekend, you got $250,000. So that's unheard of in swimming or track and field as far as just these meets that go through every year and every few months. So just the idea that kind of money can be had, I think will be a motivation for a lot of guys who this year didn't do it. But next year, like, you know what, I'm going to go for it, and I can make more money in this one race than I can in my entire career.
All right. Well, in your estimation, if they have a Enhanced Games Part 2, a second annual Enhanced Games, are you going to sign up?
It's a good question. It was a long day. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a long day of races, and there wasn't a lot of excitement until the end. And even in the end, I'll say that world record might have an asterisk even beyond the steroids, because if you watch the film, that clock may have stopped a little early. I mean, I'm not sure the guy hit the wall when that clock stopped. So they're definitely in desperation mode. Definitely, they need a record pretty badly. I'm not saying they cheated, but that clock may have been a little premature. But so I think next year, if they add more sports, you're going to add, I think, some combat sports. That was a goal this year that fell through. But I mean, you need more than the 3 sports, because obviously, track and field, swimming, and weightlifting are not going to be really exciting to watch for a whole day. So you need some more stuff in there. You need some better athletes, and maybe some more time to promote this and kind of get people intrigued by the idea, and even embrace the whole freak show. It's kind of a freak show. We're going to see what we can do and push the science to the point where we get some really cool stuff. So I'll say I'm curious. I'm curious what happens next year, and I'm not going to say I'll be there or not, but I'm open to the idea of a return visit.
All right, Vic, we don't have a lot of time, 30 seconds. Are the Niners going to make it to the Super Bowl this year?
I think they got a good shot. I think last year there were a lot of injuries. Obviously, we know about that, but everyone's back this year. They added Mike Evans, who took less money to come. So I think there's a lot of talent. If they can stay healthy, I think they got a real shot.
All right, you heard it first. Thank you, Vic. Vic Tafur from The Athletic and the New York Times went to the Enhanced Games, and we'll look out for you next year.
All right, appreciate it.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Carney, Buck.
Monday on the program, when we get space stories, we call Skyman, so he pops in to fill us in.
And when we want Hollywood stories, we call Rob Silverstein.
Also, Tom Doyle wrote a book about Ringo, and I'm not going to talk like this at all during the program on Monday.
Glad to hear it. We'll see you here right at noon.
John Carney, Julie Buck. Weekdays at noon on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Lang with Carter Pet Hospital, inviting you to join me every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. for the Animal Advice Show on the Big 550 KTRS.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Or go to robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG PremierProperties.com.
I got to tell you guys, I am a new woman at 52 years old. And the reason I am, Premier U. I got to say, I turned 45 and had a new job, and it was a little more sedentary, but also that, thing came on, that perimenopause, that getting older, and all of a sudden the weight slowly came on. Well, it doesn't quickly come off unless you work with Premier U. Premier U has so many different things that they can help you with. Yes, you can get on one of the weight loss medications. They're the generic equivalent of Ozempic or Mounjaro. They have worked wonders for me. So if you struggle with healthy eating habits, maybe cravings or binge eating, these medications may be a great option for you to lose weight. I'm 22 pounds down and cannot be happier. My pants fit better. My shirts fit better. I'm even in jackets that I used to wear on TV, and I don't feel like I'm going to rip the seams of them. So if you're ready to get back to feeling like you again, or maybe even better than you've ever felt before, check out Premier U. There's 2 locations, one in Swansea and South County, or go online, premiertheletterumed.com. Premierumed.com. You can also call them at 618-750-LIFE.
Captain Paul Kopsky in the traffic center has got to look at 350 at the roads.
Josh, no accidents, just some slow traffic. 6455 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 44 West heavy between the King Bridge and 5564. 70 West is crowded from Route A to 64. And in Illinois, 64 East is running slow from 111 to 157 due to road work. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, Scott Asringhausen is with the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. He is the Urban Fishing Coordinator. And it's time again for the 37th annual Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair at Pere Marquette. It's next Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Scott joins us back in the studio again. And Scott, welcome back to the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, thank you for having me here.
And I remember we had you on the past couple of years, and we've all heard the commercials for the past couple of weeks. So tell us more about the Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair.
Well, it's going to be June the 6th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's so many interesting and neat things to do and see at the fishing fair. First of all, we have this big 4,000-gallon aquarium. We'll have about 30 different species actually inside this aquarium. From the aquarium, my good friend Mountain Man from Duck Dynasty will actually be doing some programs and presentations there as well. As a matter of fact, I talked to him yesterday. He was there last year, but he's super excited. And then for your listeners, I don't know how much you guys all are really into fishing, but we're going to also have Hall of Famer Jimmy Houston. I don't know if
big time.
So, and he will be there at the fair as well and do a couple programs and presentations from the aquarium. But both these people are super individuals. I mean, they're just as common as you and I talk. I mean, they're there to take pictures, they're to sign autographs, give fishing tips, but super good guys.
And they know how to, because I've seen them both on many different shows and things. They'll be able to relate to kids and help pique their interest.
No, they really will. I mean, they're two special people for sure. I mean, I'm very impressed with them.
And so one of the things that is at the event this year and probably in years past is the bow hunting. Tell me how that works.
Well, we have a couple different opportunities, the bow fishing part of it. First of all, we have some 3D targets, which are basically just kind of big rubber fish, so the people have a chance to actually shoot at a steel target. But then this was from a dock. We actually have the kids climb up on a dock, and then we have actually two. They go down one, then back up the other one. At the second dock, we have three big, huge tanks, and inside these tanks they're plastic fish, but they're about maybe a foot long, but they swim around in the water, and the kids actually get to shoot in that water to try to shoot one of them fish. So that's going to happen.
Is the key to that understanding the way the light is it refracts? Is that the right word?
Refracts.
I don't think, no, because it changes where they really are to your vision,
no,
right?
You're exactly right. Yep, you kind of got to shoot where they're kind of going to, and that's kind of what you do. Kind of like thinking of a baseball player or a football player leading that that pass. So that's kind of what you do. That light kind of starts at the beginning and it kind of goes forward. That's exactly what happens.
Okay.
So you're right. That's a pretty big word for me, but that's
Well,
right.
I think I made it up, actually, so it might not be right. But I just know, and if people wonder, just look in a stream or a pond and there's a fish, it's actually not where you think it is.
You're 100% right. Nope, you're exactly right for sure with that.
That'll be fun.
And is bow fishing a rising popular sport?
It really is. People have these boats and they have all these big, huge lights on them, which attracts the insects, which attracts the fish. So, yeah, it's something you go back 10 or 15 years ago, it wasn't nearly as popular as what it is today. But it is. It's the new and upcoming sport with fishing for sure.
I got to imagine that the tanks that you have are pretty clear, crystal clear.
They are almost like looking in trout waters is what it is. But yes,
is it hard to bow fish in kind of a murky? I would imagine it would be next to impossible.
It is. You got to get them fish up to the surface of the water, or you're not going to be able to see them. Now, you cannot shoot sport fish, so it has to be like the rough fish, like the the carp, the buffalo. That you cannot actually shoot, like bass and crappie and things like that, or trout.
And I've got, people are at home are probably furious with me right now, but it's attached to a line, I guess, and you can reel it back in.
Nope. Well, in reel it is. Now, these bows that we have, the arrows just go into the water, and then we retrieve the arrows. But that's exactly right. Then it's exactly right. They got a crank on it, just like a fishing pole, and they retrieve the fish back in. So you're 100% right.
And we've got some lakes and streams and canals out by where I live. We got one right across the street, and my 5-year-old son always says, "Daddy, how come you never take me fishing?" And then,
It's a great question.
My heart sinks, and I feel like the worst dad in the world.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm doing.
We'll bring him to the fishing fair, and we'll get him fishing.
Right.
You look me up, and I'll make sure he catches a fish. And there are a couple places you can actually catch a fish at the fishing fair too.
Can you catch something with a hot dog?
You can.
Yeah.
Maybe not a fish. No, you can.
Well played. Got a little mustard. We're all good.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
You talk these opportunities for kids. What about for starter gear and things? Are there things like that there that kids can check them out or buy or whatever?
Is my Cars branded Lightning McQueen fishing pole for my son? Is that going to get the job done, or do I really need to buy like a real?
No, I like things real simple. To be honest with you, I'm like keep stuff simple, and kind of the cheaper the better. I'm not one that spends a lot of money on fancy gadgets, and I don't think you really do need them. Even the old cane pole, you can definitely catch fish on them for sure.
On a cane pole, Bob, just rip a branch off the tree and tie a string around
Whatever
it.
it takes.
That'll work.
All right.
One of the things we have is we have a bluegill pond, and we use homemade cane from Southern Illinois, and that's what the kids fish with.
That's awesome.
No, they sure do.
How about that? All right. It is June 6th. That is next, not tomorrow, but next Saturday.
Next Saturday, correct.
10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Pierre Marquette State Park in Grafton. You couldn't find a better place to host this thing.
No, it's a great place.
Anything else that we need to know? 30 activities, trout and bluegill ponds, food and drinks on site. What
There's
else?
just so many activities, and that trout pond, the kids can actually catch a trout, take it to the fish cleaning station, and actually eat that fish that they actually caught. So about
That's
30
how
minutes
you
carry,
win them over.
You can go from catching a fish to having it cleaned to actually eating it. There's two good things about fishing, one not so good, right? Catching and eating's pretty good, but cleaning's not so fun.
Not so much fun.
The other thing is it's 100% free, and every single child which comes to this fishing fair will actually leave with a prize, whether it be a fishing pole, tackle box, even something for your son. You can then you can take him fishing.
Get him a prize.
All right. We can take him. I can finally take him fishing and feel like a real dad. All right. Scott Isringhausen with the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. The Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair at Pierre Marquette is next Saturday at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thanks so much for coming in and telling us about it.
Thank you for having me here. Sure appreciate it.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at AmazonBusiness.com.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis, Ladue, Glen Carbon, University City, Edwardsville, Manchester, Wood River, Grafton, and the world.
Streaming live at KTRS.com.
Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Still no word on whether President Trump plans to extend the ceasefire with Iran, with both sides still not assigning on to the current short-term peace proposal. A federal judge has ordered that President Trump's name be removed from the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., setting a 2-week deadline for his name to come off the building. ABC's Catherine Falders reports.
Not only did the judge rule against the center's renaming, he also said the board has to vote again before the closure can happen because he determined the trustees weren't given enough information in advance of their vote to fulfill their obligation, if you will. So it really is a scathing ruling for the Trump administration. And of course, the judge also said that the closure of the Kennedy Center can't move forward as planned.
The judge said the authority to rename the Kennedy Center lies with Congress, not the center's board. It comes just hours after a judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration's efforts to create a so-called anti-weaponization fund. ABC News legal contributor Kim Whaley.
This is going to stay with this lower court judge, and then when there's a final resolution, only then will the Trump administration have the ability to appeal it.
That fund was designed to pay those who claim to have been victimized by the government. Health officials are ramping up screening procedures at airports as the Ebola outbreak in Central Africa grows.
It's exactly what you might entail. It's a medical history. Where have you been? What have you been exposed to? What were you doing in these countries? And then obviously the physical screening, checking for things like fever and other symptoms associated with the virus. But it shouldn't affect passengers that are coming from other places around the world. We haven't heard of anything like that inside these terminals, but that comes with the caveat that if this continues to expand and more countries are affected and added to that list, then of course more passengers would eventually become affected by all of this.
ABC's Matt Rivers. You're listening to ABC News.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Ah, spring. The chirping birds, the warmer weather, the leafing trees,
and spring storms.
When Mother Nature does damage to your trees and bushes, have a Ray's Tree Service arborist come by for a free no-obligation estimate. Ray's will keep your trees and shrubs healthy all spring and summer. Mention KTRS and receive a free stump grind if accessible with any tree removal. Call 314-821-2665 or online at raystreeservice.com.
"81 degrees at 4:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. An Associated Press investigation finds that private, for-profit residential treatment centers that care for adopted children are often funded by taxpayer dollars, but subject to little oversight and few consequences for allegations of abuse and neglect. The investigation looks deeply at one facility in Missouri, Change Academy at Lake of the Ozarks, which costs as much as $20,000 a month and attracts families from all over the country. State agencies that pay to send kids there have questioned its operations, training, and transparency, and parents and former employees say there is minimal treatment. The center has denied allegations of wrongdoing. Local and federal officials met at St. Louis Lambert International Airport yesterday to celebrate a new $30 million FAA grant, part of Lambert's plans to create a single terminal redevelopment project. Speaking at a press conference there, Congressman Wesley Bell said there's no reason that Lambert should not be a major transportation hub. And Senator Eric Schmidt said the project is about more than transportation.
This is a celebration more than anything else, I think, of another win in this really collective effort to make sure that this airport has all the resources it needs to be the next great American airport.
Schmidt added that future funding will likely require a mix of federal grants, airline investment, and continued political coordination. The number of unemployment claims in Missouri continues to rise.
Missouri is seeing a sharp increase in the number of unemployment claims. The Missouri Department of Labor reports there were nearly 4,000 claims filed during the week ending on May 23rd. Now that's a rise of more than 1,700 claims from the previous week. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
June 1st is Monday, and St. Louis County Executive Dr. Sam Page has announced that on Monday at 9 a.m., he will join others to install flags at Clayton's Memorial Park to mark the beginning of Pride Month. Page says the flags have become a tradition in St. Louis County, and he is proud to support the county's LGBTQ plus employees. This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. You can place your order anytime at WKF.com. Demolition began this morning on the Heart of St. Charles Banquet Center. The building has been vacant since 2019 when it was closed as part of a long-term multi-phase redevelopment plan. Once demolition is complete, construction will begin on a new 92-room Fairfield Inn. Now the markets, which are brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow up 363 points at 51,032, NASDAQ up 55 at 26,972, and the S&P 500 up 16 at 7,580. Now let's check in with Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic.
3-game series with the Cubs tonight at Busch. Kyle Leahy gets the ball for the Birds. Lefty Shota Imanaga will oppose him for the Cubs. And the Battlehawks play the Dallas Renegades in the regular season finale tonight at the Dome. St. Louis will be looking for at least 7 wins for a third straight UFL season. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. 6455 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 44 West is heavy between the King Bridge and 5564. 64 East bogs down at 170. 70 West is crowded from Route A to 64. And in Illinois, 64 East is running slow from 111 to 157 due to road work. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
We have a 20% chance for some isolated showers today, tonight, and tomorrow. An overnight low in the mid-60s. Tomorrow's afternoon high around 82. At 4:07, cloudy. 81 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Great story about Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. One of the wives called up and said, "Hey, we need an electrician. Call Michael Baldy." And the husband said, No, I can do it. Well, the wife overrode the husband, called up Michael Baldy at 314-968-9999. Maybe she checked the website first, baldyelectric.com. So Michael Baldy came out to the house. While he was at the house, the husband says, "Well, since you're here, I've got 3 or 4 other jobs for you." It turned out to be an all-day affair. They took care of everything. And so, no, the husband couldn't get it done. Good thing the wife called Baldy Electric, and now the whole house is fixed because of one simple phone call to Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. Indoor, outdoor, brand new commercial building, an old Victorian home, it doesn't matter. Michael Baldy and his team of electricians will take care of you. 314-968-9999, Baldy Electric, or baldyelectric.com.
Hey, if you're looking for a fun one-tank trip, let me tell you about Springfield, Illinois, one of my favorite places because you're there in less than an hour and a half. And the things you can do and see, I mean, they're countless. You really could spend an entire week there. But if you just want to go for the day, you've got to go to the Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. It is fantastic. And if you've already been there, go again because the exhibits are constantly changing. Now, this year's going to be big because of the Route 66 anniversary. They've got all kinds of special exhibits exhibits, like the Bob Waldmeyer Art Exhibit. If you've never heard of him, he was an American artist who was well known for his artwork of Route 66, which is fantastic. And then you've got David Schwartz's photo exhibit, The Road That Takes You. 8 of David's photos were chosen for the Route 66 Centennial Stamp Series. You can see some of those in person. That is just a little sample of what you'll find in Springfield, Illinois. But what's great is they've got your entire itinerary already built for you. You can find that and plan your next trip to Springfield, Illinois at visitspringfieldillinois.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show
With Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey.
on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines on a Friday, May 29th, the last Friday of May. June is on Monday. Can you believe that?
Well, it's got to be someday.
Eventually, it's got to come. Come someday.
Oh, you meant, hey, it's here now, Monday.
Yeah,
I
come
gotcha.
Monday. Come Monday.
I thought you were shocked that it would fall on a Monday.
No,
I misinterpreted you.
I can't believe it's
Please,
already here.
Accept my apology.
Do you remember the story I told you a couple days ago about the minor league ball player who, to avoid the the bat boy dog, the dog that would run out after the batters hit and grab the bats and run back? You know, these minor league clubs need all the gimmicks they can. The fun stuff. The guy crossed home plate, and to avoid running into the bat dog, he jumped out of the way, landed awkwardly, and now he's done for the season. Well, 2-3 days later, French Open has started. A Turkish player, a female Turkish player in a doubles match, was going to the back court for a ball that had gone, it was still in play. She was rushing to the fence to try to connect with it and tripped over a courtside advertisement, sustaining a knee injury and knocking her out of the match. It was a doubles match. It occurred just 2 games into the match, and she had to retire from the match, and the team had to, I guess, forfeit.
Right.
Required 2 stitches.
Oh, no.
It is not the first time in these French Open that the signs have been a problem with players on the court.
Are they the kind that kind of fold in like little tents, like our sandwich boards?
Yeah, it was kind of a sandwich board, but I just watched the video. It's a Lacoste sign for the Lacoste brand, and it looks like it's made of fairly hard rubber or substance, and she stopped short because she knew it was there but couldn't stop her momentum, tripped over the thing. 2 stitches later, had to sit out of the match. They have finally decided, after multiple players had tripped or jumped or tried to avoid these things, they finally had said that the Lacoste ads have to go.
Those were put there by the salespeople.
Yes.
Not by the tennis people.
Of course. They serve no function but to promote the brand.
Which is good because you want their money. They paid the French Open for them, and they want visibility. You just got to find a better spot for
Do they have to be in play?
On play, yeah.
Can the bat dog not run out when players are still running the bases?
Can he wait till a dead ball? Can you get that across to him?
Yeah, put that dog on a leash and push the signs off to the side, people.
This comes under the heading of instant karma, not to be confused with
instant sharma.
Thank you. Instant karma. A Wisconsin driver moved a road-closed barrier and continued on his way. We're right past it. Scofflaw. Only to get his pickup truck stuck in freshly poured concrete. They put new concrete. It's up past the axles, sinking in the concrete. Wisconsin Department of Transportation said a driver, quote, cemented their inability to adhere to signs. See what they did there?
Yeah.
They shared a photo of the pickup truck. You can see it right there.
Oh, my God.
Past the axles.
Why is the cement that deep?
Yeah, and I don't know if there's the cement and then maybe it's muddy beneath it. Who knows? That's not really relevant, Josh, to the story.
I'm with you.
The crews placed the barricades there, obviously, for a reason. So I have to think that if they didn't wash that truck out underneath and up in the engine right away, that's going to be a real problem for that driver and that truck.
What if it hardened?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, they'd have to jackhammer him out of it.
Instant karma, obey the signs, which the story at home, because of driving north on 270 every day coming into work, it's better, and it looks like it's so close to being done, and everything will be wide open. But I know there was we'll ask Captain Paul next. Well, I think there was a big accident there yesterday, wasn't there? Maybe yesterday morning?
So close. Jill Farmer was saying the same thing. She takes that route every morning as well, and she's,
it's almost there.
We're almost there. Bob, an update to one of your headlines the other day, just really quickly. Mike Ward's waiting in the wings, but the Oklahoma coach who instructed his 12-year-old son to throw a ball
into the dugout,
a pitch into the dugout of an opposing team. It was his son. That was the player. He wasn't instructing another one of the
Bad
players.
News Bears. Vic Morrow telling his kid to throw at the Bears. Remember?
Yes.
No. Yeah.
The coach has gotten a lifetime ban.
Good.
For the incident that went viral that we talked about just the other day.
That's good.
Instant karma, well, took 2 days.
Not quite instant,
yeah,
but heavy.
Karma nonetheless. All right, Mike Ward's going to tell us about Oregon wines, Pinot Noirs for all. Probably wines that Heidi will be trying in just a couple of days. It is the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh and Bob. We'll be back right after this.
Are you helping to take care of a senior-aged parents living at home? How many times are you getting a phone call to help them navigate daily tasks, from shopping online to running errands, doctor's appointments? It can be exhausting and it can be frustrating for everyone. You need to check out Senior Concierge. It's a subscription-style membership dedicated to helping St. Louis area seniors stay connected and confident while living at home. It's as easy as an app, and it's just $79 a month. They'll get access to all the personal concierge support that can assist you with a wide range of needs, from dinner reservations to concerts, sports tickets, home maintenance, groceries, housekeeping, rides to and from the doctors, and so much more. Senior Concierge, convenient, confidence, and connection begins here. Become a member today. Learn more at seniorcstl.com. That's seniorcstl.com, or call 314-270-7800 or seniorcstl.com.
Okay, like it or not, St. Louis often seems like a small town. And that's kind of perfect when we're talking about Indoor Comfort Team. Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning has served St. Louis since 1979. And their customers are really neighbors, because everybody coming in and out of your house with Indoor Comfort Team, well, they are your neighbors. They're a part of this community. If you haven't already, take a look at Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning, because they are a local St. Louis company, and they're offering some fantastic promotions right now, like a free second opinion. They're also offering $2,000 off a new train system with no interest financing, and their VIP maintenance membership program at only $19.99 a month is a fantastic deal, because whether you like it or not, you're going to probably need a little service when it comes to your HVAC system. So check them out and see why St. Louis has trusted Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning since 1979. You can learn more at indoorcomfortteam.com.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis. So if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living, or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobangProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
You know that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
All right. If Heidi were here, she would say, spill the wine. That is a cardinal sin. Mike Ward is with us, and it is, what is it, Oregon Wine Month?
It is.
Is June?
It's almost, no, May.
It's May. Oh, so we're almost
wrapping it up.
Well, we better celebrate this weekend then, because like I said, June 1st is on Monday. But Oregon Wine Month, this is working out perfectly because Heidi on her trip is going out to Seattle. She's going to the Gorge to watch a concert, and then on their way back, they're going to the Willamette Valley to try some Oregon wines. You're going to be there as well. Are you and Heidi going to be out in Oregon at the same time?
We're not. We miss each other by a couple days.
Oh, ships in the night.
Oh, because she'll probably have to take 3 or 4 days to come home.
Yeah.
And that's why you'll miss her.
She'll be there like on a Monday.
And you think there will be wine left over there, I'm sure.
Well,
right?
Maybe not as much.
Yeah.
A few less bottles.
Yeah.
If Heidi's there first, I wouldn't count on it. But this is really interesting because Oregon is a part of the country that we don't generally think of off the top of our heads as wine country, but it's coming on strong.
It's world class. So think of, Portland on the coastal side, but just about an hour or so south is a little place called McMinnville and Yamhill are the 2 main towns. They're really small towns. But it's the Willamette Valley, and oftentimes people mispronounce the Willamette Valley, calling it Willamette, but because it looks like that when you spelled out, but it's the Willamette Valley. And it is one of maybe the second best place in the world to grow the grape Pinot Noir.
Really?
The first being Burgundy, where the grape is from.
Second best in the world, perhaps.
I'm going to give it that distinction. Now, if you had a globe and you pointed to the Willamette Valley and then you went all the way over to France, your finger would be in Burgundy.
Really?
Now, that doesn't mean that they are
on latitude. You
on
mean?
latitude, right?
Wow.
So that's helpful.
That's a big deal. But weather, mountains, the soil itself, that's also a big deal. Are they similar? And there's got to be some mountains over there.
Climate has some similarities, and soil is totally different. Because Burgundy has some of the most unique soil in the entire world for grape growing. Willamette Valley has volcanic soil along with other types of soil that are conducive for grape growing, because you want rocky soil for grape growing. It's perfect for Pinot Noir.
Now, I like to believe in happy accidents, or at least with evolution of things. They probably tried 1,000 different varieties of grapes before they realized that the Pinot was the best one there. But did they know ahead of time that they say, look, this is pretty good soil, this is pretty good air, We could really grow some good Pinot here, or was it a happy accident?
It was none of those things.
It was Josh.
It was, but you would assume that, Josh. That was a correct assumption that everybody would make.
Hey,
don't prop him up.
We know what happens when you make assumptions.
Yes.
But it really does create that story. It was one guy and his wife. His name was David Lett. It was in the mid-1970s. He brought Pinot Noir to the Willamette Valley, and everybody there said, oh, that's not going to grow here. Can't grow that grape. That's such a hard grape to grow. You can't even grow grapes in this area. He stuck to it. He grew grapes in a place called the Irie Vineyard. I'm going to be there next Thursday, but that's another point.
Nice.
So it really is since the late 1970s that we started growing grapes there, and we started with Pinot Noir. About 10 years later, not even 10 years later, there was a French winemaker that came over and said, you know what, this is so similar to our environment, we're going to start a winery here. And things really took off to about 400 wineries at this, right now. But Pinot Noir, Josh, you said they probably grew some other things, kind of looking for what works here. And there are some white grape varieties that work there, but Pinot Noir is the king there. You really can't grow grapes like Cabernet Sauvignon there because it's too cool of a climate.
Oh, amazing. So every time we learn about the background in United States wines, the dates always surprise me because when we talk about European wines, we're going back centuries sometimes.
Yeah.
And
to the Romans and beyond, the Greeks.
But it seems like it keeps coming back. Prohibition really worked hard to kill wineries in America, and it took decades to get everything to where we are going today, 60s and well into the 70s.
Yeah, and Missouri, as a wine-producing state, has about 125 years ahead of Oregon in wine production.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then, of course, Prohibition ruined the Missouri wine industry, the California wine industry as well. Didn't come back until the 1970s. 1976 is the anniversary of the Judgment of Paris, which really brought American wines back into or noticed, and that changed everything in 1976.
So him getting that going in the 70s was good fortune.
It was
for his winery.
Luck on his part.
Yeah.
He saw that he knew the needs for that particular grape, Pinot Noir, and had traveled there and saw, hey, I think we get this to work here. And it just was like that spot that is perfect for that grape variety.
All right, so one more question about the region itself. And when I think of the Pacific Northwest, I think of rainy all the time. I also think of Bigfoot as well. But is the weather there different than what I'm thinking? Is there, a mountain range that's blocking certain weather patterns from just completely soaking the soil? Or do grapes don't like water, do they?
They really don't. Bigfoot is on a label of wine in Oregon. But anyway,
see, I'm not the only one.
Look at you.
It just so happens that if you follow the Cascade Mountain Range up to Seattle, it blocks, Seattle's on the wet side, and Cascade Mountain Range blocks Columbia Valley on the eastern side, and that's very dry, and the grapes love to grow in that dry atmosphere. If you keep going down south of Portland, high elevation, Pinot Noir likes to grow in those kind of conditions, but it's dry enough because of coastal mountain influence that really not only blocks some of the rain, but also it funnels some of those cool temperatures inland to where the vineyards are. So it's really perfect. You go south to Eugene, Oregon, and that's where you can start. It starts to get warm enough to grow Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay, but this is just the perfect storm, if you will, for Pinot Noir. Or lack of in the Willamette Valley. Now, what wines are we talking about here? We got the Roco wines.
Roco is one of my favorite wineries because it's small, but you can find the wines this weekend. But it's one of my favorite wineries because I really like the winemaker, and his name is Roland Souls, and he's kind of like one of the pioneer winemakers from the Willamette Valley. This is a winery that he started with his wife, Colby, and he started making sparkling wine. He's making sparkling wine again. It's going to be available. It's not available yet, but in by July, we'll be able to get his sparkling wines.
And you said he has a great reputation for that, correct?
He was one of the originals. And now in Oregon, they are sort of investing in method traditional sparkling wines. What does that mean? It means they're made just like champagne. And so Pinot Noir is a major supporting grape variety for sparkling wine. Now, you can find his Rocco Gravel Road Pinot Noir in some grocery stores and most wine shops. And then I also brought one called the Stalker, which is one of his other Pinot Noirs. But I consider him one of the best winemakers in the world.
My goodness.
He is he's in my personal top 10.
That's amazing.
I mean, he is an outstanding winemaker.
And are you going to visit him? Are you sending Heidi to him?
I am not sending Heidi to him this trip. She's going to have to go out there again, but I'm hoping to be able to work it in. We've got a full schedule, but I would like to. I did visit this winery one of the times I was there. And here's a guy who is not only so in tune to winemaking, but also his vineyards. He knows, and I know that this is going to sound weird, but I heard him talking about it. He knows the vines in his vineyards to the single vine and how they react. And this is a guy that really knows the environment.
Goodness.
He knows exactly how to treat the vines to make the best fruit, and then use that knowledge to make the best wine.
So we've got 2 Pinot Noirs from the Rocco family, the Gravel Road Pinot Noir. We've got the Stalker Pinot Noir. That's the one I'm going to try tonight. And then we also have the Sparkling, the Brut Sparkling.
Yeah.
Now, sparkling wine, what does it generally come from over in the Champagne region? What's Champagne made of, and what do we make sparkling wine out of?
Chardonnay and Pinot Noir are the 2 main grape varieties for Champagne. There's one other grape that nobody's ever heard of. It's called Meunier, but only nerds like me would know that one. But Chardonnay and Pinot Noir are the world class. They're not the only grapes that make sparkling wine, but they are the traditional sparkling wine grapes. They react perfectly for that type of production. And I'll just make it very simple as I possibly can. A traditional method sparkling wine, like they make in Oregon or Champagne, the whole process of creating bubbles has to happen in the bottle. So the bottle that you purchase in the store, the bubbles were created inside of that bottle and never taken out of that bottle.
Okay.
Other sparkling wines in the world are made in a tank if you see the word traditional method, that means all the bubbles come in the bottle.
So how is that achieved? They put a little yeast into the bottle and put the cork on and put it on the rack.
You make a wine first. You put that wine in the bottle, add a little yeast and sugar, put it away in the cellar, and the magic happens over about the next year or so. CO2 is the product of fermentation, becomes part of the wine. And now when you take it out, there's a couple other things you have to do to it to get it ready to go. But now you have the bubbles have become part of that wine.
How about that? All right. So here's a dumb question.
There's no dumb question.
That's what they say, but trust me, when they're coming from my face.
No one says that about you.
I have taught you so much about wine and winemaking.
Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
And Pinot Grigio.
Yeah.
Is it the same grape?
Same DNA. They are the same grape. At one point, I used to teach classes and say they were like siblings, but they're not. They're really the same grape variety with a different grape skin color. So Pinot Noir is such a weird grape. It mutates, and it mutates to being a
Grigio?
Grigio mean gray, but it really is pink. It's a pink skin. And then Blanc, which means a green skin. So it can come in all these different types of wine, and you treat them a little bit differently.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, there are red wines that use a grape and keep the skins on as part of the process. And then you take the same grape, take the skin off, and it makes a white wine?
Sure, you can do that with Pinot Noir. I love to say this in class because I'll say to people, have you ever tried Pinot Noir as a white wine, and most people say no. And I say, well, have you ever had champagne? Well, sure I have.
Oh,
Then
okay.
you've tried Pinot Noir as a white wine, where they
course.
did not use the skins.
Interesting.
Now, Cabernet Sauvignon, thick skins, really, bigger, bolder, more tannic. It would have a hard time if you asked it to be a white wine. I'm sure somebody's done that before, and you can do it. It can be a rosé. But it would have a hard time. Pinot Noir is like, yeah, sure. What do you want? I'll do whatever you want.
I'll do this. I'll do that. Call me whatever you want.
But on the flip side, it's hard to grow. So your payoff is that you got this grape that's hard to grow, but then it'll work for you.
So tell us again, the Rocco wines. You said they're not maybe everywhere yet, but they sound great. So if somebody's looking for one of these this weekend, where do they go?
There are some limited Schnucks locations where you can get these.
Okay.
Your best bet might be to email me, mike@wardonwine.com. Go to an independent retailer if you're near one. You might be able to find them at, the usual suspects like Total Wine or Randall's or the Wine Merchant over in Olivet or a little place like the Wine Barrel in Sunset Hills. You can go to a place like that, but you're not going to find them in every single store. And there's locations out in St. Charles, no matter where you're listening, you can find these. And I really would encourage you to, because it's a small family-owned business, and I love to support those small companies. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So the Rocco family wines, the Gravel Road, the Stalker, and the RMS Brut. That is the Brut sparkling wine. And if you want this list again, just text us 84126, and I'll send you a text with these names again. Rocco family wines. You can find them online at roccowinery.com.
Yeah.
And you can also email Mike at wardonwine.com.
And
You mentioned the Chianti?
Well, I also, the same company that exports and imports the Rocco wines, they also have some Italian wines, because they are also the company that imports Santa Margherita Pinot Grigio. But there's this Chianti called Lemole, and I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but it is probably my favorite Chianti Classico in the world. It's such a great wine. Again, a little bit harder to find. It's got a blue label on it. Has the rooster, the Black Rooster Consortium on the back.
This with spaghetti, with steak, with.
I'm going to say Chianti with everything, but you do want some tomato sauces. Perfect.
Gotcha.
But it's named after the little town where it comes from called Lemole. Starts with an L. And it's such a great Chianti. And if anybody is a Chianti lover or you want to become one, I'd encourage you to find this wine. Maybe email me and I'll help you find it.
Very good.
All right. The Rocco family wines, the Gravel.
Gravel Road,
the Stalker, and the RMS Brut, and the Lemole
Chianti
Classico. So check those out at your local wine store. Just email Mike@wardonwine.com. Mike, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
And then say hi to Heidi out there.
We'll see if I can find her.
Yeah, ships in the night. How about that? Mike just mentioned one of his top 10 personal favorites and one of his favorite Chiantis, all in the same segment. So get people out there to get some wine this weekend and avoid the rush by listening to Captain Paul and know where to go and where not to go as we look at the roads.
Josh, an accident on 64 East before Clayton Road is causing a bumper-to-bumper backup to Spady. Estimated clearance time is 5:05. 6455 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 44 West is heavy between the King Bridge and 5564. 64 West busy in front of Forest Park. And in Illinois, 64 East is congested between 111 and 157 due to road work. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Are you helping to take care of a senior-aged parents living at home? How many times are you getting a phone call to help them navigate daily tasks, from shopping online to running errands, doctor's appointments? It can be exhausting and it can be frustrating for everyone. You need to check out Senior Concierge. It's a subscription-style membership dedicated to helping St. Louis area seniors stay connected and confident while living at home. It's as easy as an app, and it's just $79 a month. They'll get access to all the personal concierge support that can assist you with a wide range of needs, from dinner reservations to concerts, sports tickets, home maintenance, groceries, housekeeping, rides to and from the doctors, and so much more. Senior Concierge, convenient, confidence, and connection begins here. Become a member today. Learn more at SeniorCSTL.com. That's SeniorCSTL.com, or call 314-270-7800 or SeniorCSTL.com.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. We are in our peak selling and buying season right now. I'm paying top dollar for pristine, low-mile cars and motorcycles, especially Corvettes, Porsches, sports cars, and luxury cars. I'll buy classics, too. Hop on our site and submit your vehicle. Downsizing, estate liquidation, we'll even buy entire collections. If you're in the St. Louis area, I'll come to you and inspect, make an offer on all your vehicles if they're in great condition. You can submit those through our site too, mastercarsinc.com. We are buying, selling, and trading every day for 3 decades.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit mastercarsinc.com to get more details. That's mastercarsinc.com.
You know that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Don't miss a day filled with fun and educational activities for the entire family at the Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair, Saturday, June 6th from 10 to 4 at Pierre Marquette State Park, just past Grafton, Illinois.
There's an amazing 4,000-gallon mobile aquarium on site with fish species found in the Illinois and Mississippi rivers. The kiddos can enjoy a catch-and-release bluegill pond, the one cast station where everyone wins a prize, and a bow fishing station where children can shoot moving targets. Appearances from Hall of Fame fisherman Jimmy Houston and Tim Garrity, the mountain man from Duck Dynasty. Live music throughout the day and food and drink available for purchase. Admission and parking are free, and no fishing license or fishing gear is needed.
That's the Two Rivers Family Fishing Fair, Saturday, June 6th at Pierre Marquette State Park near Grafton. For more info, call 618-786-3323 or visit dnr.illinois.gov.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Music means Brendan Weesey, KTRS Sports Director, is in the house, and we have some free baseball all weekend, don't we?
This is, we like to nerd out on certain things. I like to nerd out just on broadcast history and certain benchmarks that are met. So I feel like this weekend, so it's the first time since 2007, I believe, where all of the games are going to be available on free over-the-air television. But I would argue, Rammer, that you think of the St. Louis market, what are the for the longest time, the three big stations were 2, 4, and 5. You go all the way back to when 2-head ABC, CBS, 4-head CBS, and 5-head NBC. It's always been about 2, 4, and 5 in this market, I think. I cannot think of another time where each of those three channels will have a game. Tonight, Channel 4.
CBS.
Tomorrow night is Channel 2.
Fox.
And
it's the Fox game.
Yes.
Of the
and
week.
then Sunday is NBC.
How
Channel
about
5. So all three of the big local television stations get a game. Now, obviously, tonight with 4, it's Matrix, the Matrix Midwest. It's still Cardinals TV. It is not a national broadcast.
And it's on
but
Channel
the other
4.
two are. But the other two are national broadcasts. And again, it never would have been possible with the ESPN Sunday night package for all of those years. I guess we could have had. And that might have been it. I don't know. Did Channel 11 and Channel 5 ever share? I can't. To me, it always one or the other would have had the local package. I don't know if they both had it at the same time.
I was there when 11 got the games.
Yeah.
I think they got the local broadcast rights. Somebody will remember better than me.
I just don't think they had them at the same time.
No, that's I agree.
Is my point.
It usually was a combo with that and whatever. Cable venture, bunch sports thing.
Right. Whether
Sports
it's Fox
Time
Sports,
or whatever.
Prime Sports, Fox Sports Midwest, and then all the iterations the last few years.
But not only can we watch the games, and if you have a cable package that doesn't offer it, like me with Hulu, I don't really get to watch too many baseball games. But Albert Pujols is going to be on one of the calls.
Albert's going to be on the call, I believe, on Sunday, which is something the NBC Game of the Week package has done. They've got the very talented Jason Benetti, who's their lead play-by-play guy. And then I think what they've tried to do is add their two analysts representing the other two teams. So I think Albert will be representing the Cardinals, obviously. I'm not sure who they have representing the Cubs on Sunday, but that'll be a great broadcast. Obviously, Albert's dipped his toes into the broadcast realm. He does a very good job, and in a summer where he will later on be inducted into the Cardinals Hall of Fame. I know he still does his personal services contract with the Angels is still ongoing, but let's be honest, he will always be a Cardinal, and in a situation like Sunday, it'll be fun to hear him call the game for the Cards.
All right, well, I'll be very interested to see who they pull from the Cubs side on that.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
We'll figure that out. Brendan, what else is going on? The Battlehawks are playing tonight for home field advantage in the playoffs.
They are, and an opportunity to close out their regular season. They also have...
the game's in town, by the way, so there
it
might
is
be some
down at the Dome.
tailgaters right now listening to us.
Absolutely. The Josh Gilbert Memorial tailgate site, which I believe you don't use anymore.
I don't go anymore.
You don't go
Got
anymore.
too crowded, right?
But a chance for the Battlehawks to cinch up 3 straight years in the UFL of at least 7 wins. They're obviously of the teams that they haven't won a championship, but certainly the most decorated of the spring football teams because of how well they have drawn. So it'll be interesting tonight to see if they can get to that 7-win plateau again, and like you said, have a chance for home field. The championship game not in St. Louis again, but an opportunity to play in the semifinals of the UFL playoffs.
All right. Anything else that we're missing here?
Well, we wanted to talk some. I thought we were going to talk some baseball here.
The big news.
The big news. We've got Cardinals made multiple moves today. Jimmy Crooks, who Cardinal fans have been pining for here for weeks, is going to get an opportunity to be up with the big club. Again, he had a cup of coffee last year, but he's back. Yoel Pozo, option down to Memphis. Also coming up is a guy that, Rammer, we thought had a chance to make the club out of spring training. Outfielder Nelson Velazquez, who gets the call up today and is immediately inserted into the starting lineup against lefty Shota Imanaga. Velazquez in the lineup tonight, hitting cleanup.
Yeah, I don't know if the guy's going to be any good. He doesn't have a tremendous track record in his career. Our whole point in the spring was, can't you earn a job in spring training? And I thought he earned it. Now, full disclosure, as soon as he went to Memphis, he didn't do anything for a while.
No, he didn't.
But he's picked it up the last couple of weeks and is playing pretty well. Baez has really gotten hot. He's only 22 years old. I don't think we'll see him, and probably shouldn't.
Rob, I was just going to say, there isn't a need to press that issue yet.
And then the other guy would be Blaze Jordan, and we were talking off the air earlier. I hate the word runway. The Cardinals have made it trite. But it looks like in their parlance, they're really giving Gorman a runway to make or break. So I think it'll be some time before we see Blaze Jordan, but who knows?
And I thought about that. He's at Gorman, not in the lineup tonight, due in large part, I think, to the fact that the lefty on the mound with Imanaga. But you're right. They continue to give Gorman those opportunities, and he's played the position well.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't hit. And he has consistently not hit for the last. Again, we talked about it last night on the show. His numbers line up pretty well consistently the last 3 years of sub-mediocrity. And that eventually, when you play a position like third base, it's one thing if he had those numbers and he played short or second. I wonder if there would be a different feeling. But you play a power-hitting position, that production is expected, and there just hasn't been enough for about the last 3 years, and something's going to. I've been a big Gorman apologist, and we've talked about that. But at some point, it got to be some production there for Nolan.
My Gorman is Nootbaar. We'll see.
When are we going to see him?
Monday, I think.
Monday.
Yeah.
All right.
And we expect him to immediately be placed into that lineup. The Cardinals lineup. The second half of that lineup not been very good. Top half, even though some of the other guys have gone through some scuffles lately, the top four in your lineup have been consistently delivered here this year.
Those four are as good as anybody in the game. Top four.
Yeah, agreed.
All right.
Well, we got to go.
Yeah, we can check out the new moves for free all weekend. Our partner at Channel 4 has got the game tonight. Fox has it tomorrow and Sunday Night Baseball on NBC, Brendan. And we'll be tuning in tonight for the big story.
Soccer at 6 tonight.
Soccer at 6 tonight. So listen to us and then stick around and listen to Brendan as well. We'll be back right after a check of traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Josh, an accident on 64 East before Clayton Road has been cleared with residual congestion back to Ballas. 6455 West is congested between King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 44 West is slow between the King Bridge and 5564. 64 West is busy in front of Forest Park. And in Illinois, 64 East is congested between 111 and 157 due to road work. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
The cost of living is going up, Social Security is going down, and who knows where the stock market is going. There are a lot of things you can't control about retirement, but there's one thing you can. You can call the team at Ricken Financial. Their focus has always been preserve what you have and build a paycheck that comes in every month. Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation meeting, 314-207-6211 or at rickenfinancial.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They could send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on. It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Welcome back to the program. We've got John Courtney and Sean Ledbetter from the St. Charles Goodfellas here in studio. They've got a golf tournament coming up on June 9th, and they do a lot of great work. And Bob was asking me, welcome to the program, number one, but Bob was asking me, well, what do the St. Charles Goodfellas do? And I said, well, wait until you hear it, because they do some really good, important stuff. And I've been around for the celebration of toys that you do at Christmas, and the golf tournament that we're going to tell everybody about is the second fundraiser that you get. You guys do major fundraisers a year. But tell Bob what the Goodfellas do, what they raise money for.
Okay. Well, St. Charles Goodfellas, we're a 501(c) charity, and we raise money for basically organizations that benefit children in need in the St. Charles, Lincoln County, and Warren County areas.
And then how would you, so people give, and then how do you find which organizations, how do you get the money funneled to the right place?
Good question. The two organizations that we mainly give to is the Child Advocacy Center, I have trouble with that word, of Northeast Missouri, and also the Foster Adoption Support Team
that's great.
Of St. Charles.
Yeah.
Those are the two main organizations we do, but that's not to say that's the only ones we do.
Oh.
Because in the past, we've also been able to give money to Tykes on Trikes. I don't know if you've heard of that organization, but they'll bring a tear to your eye when you give them a check, and they have actually, we've presented trikes to them at our golf tournament last year. So that was really good. Also, Shop with a Police Officer, and Salvation Army, which is a benefit of our celebration of toys that we have at the end of the year.
And Sean, tell us about the Child Advocacy Center of Northeast Missouri, because when I heard about this, it really makes you think how needed something like this is.
So that organization is great because they support children who have been through some type of abuse. They are out there and they have trauma counselors who sit with these children and help them get through some bad situations. And the funds they raise, they're able to build interview rooms. They're able to bring in support staff and animals that are there with the children as they're having to get some counseling sessions. And they also support them if they have to testify in court.
And that is just the saddest thing to even think about, is a child having to testify in court. And so obviously they try to make that as easy and as painless and as simple, as comfortable as possible. So when I heard about what they do, it's a no-brainer to try to help you guys out, the St. Charles Goodfellas. Raise as much money as possible for them. The golf tournament is June 9th. And that is coming up fast, but it's at the Falls Golf Club in O'Fallon. And give us some specifics on the golf tournament.
Well, the golf tournament, registration's at 8 o'clock. Shotgun starts at 9. We usually finish somewhere around 3:30. We offer breakfast in the morning. We offer dinner afterwards.
Nice.
It is probably, I like to think of it being the best tournament, best affordable tournament in the area.
Wow.
And we hear that from the people that play it every year. They always ask about it again. And I'm sorry to say that the teams have already filled up this year.
Oh, you're filled.
Today.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But,
that's true.
But that doesn't mean that's the only way people can help support the charity in St. Charles County. There's a lot of great sponsorships that if companies would like to come out and sponsor a hole or donate to the tournament, come out and join us. We're hoping for beautiful weather.
That's great.
And we have a lot of fun things that are going on that day, not just having food out on the course, but you also have 50-50 raffles, and we have donation items that we put up for auction. And again, all the funds go back to the children in St. Charles County.
And the experience I've had with you guys is you're getting together at the very beginning. You said, well, we want to do something good for the region. Who should we help out? And immediately everyone said, well, it's got to be kid-oriented. So that's I don't donate money, but when I do, it's for kids and those causes. So you guys are doing some good work. You can look them up, stcharlesgoodfellas.org, or just Google St. Charles Goodfellas, and that'll lead you to it. And the golf tournament just filled up. Thanks for still coming in, though. Because sponsors and donations and all that stuff.
Or
and
just join our committee and join our charity.
Nice.
We love to get additional members that come out and support us. We have meetings once a month. If anybody's interested in seeing how they go, we can always get more information out there. And being able to grow the people in the area to help raise funds for these children really brings a smile to everyone's face.
And that is stcharlesgoodfellas.org, or just Google them, St. Charles Goodfellas. Thanks for coming out, and we'll be sure to touch base with you ahead of the Christmas celebration.
Thank you. Have a great day.
The Big 550.
KTRS, St. Louis.
I'm Mike Dubusky. It's unclear whether a new draft of a potential deal between the U.S. and Iran will be approved, with the two sides still at odds over issues including Iran's nuclear program and a pathway to reopening the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump now says he has no interest in renovating the Kennedy Center after a judge earlier today ordered that he take his name off the building. That ruling came just hours after a different judge temporarily blocked the Justice Department's efforts to create an anti-weaponization fund. The Trump administration said that fund would offer compensation to those who claimed to have been wronged by the government.
We should note that no payments have gone out from this fund yet. The fund, as we've reported, is governed by this commission. It would be a 5-person commission that the administration has to put together. They have yet to announce the creation of that, or yet to announce any commissioners, if you will. So what this order does is bars the administration from taking any further action in that way.
ABC's Catherine Falders. Louisiana lawmakers have approved a new congressional map which would get rid of one of the state's 2 majority black districts. It comes after the Supreme Court moved to weaken the Voting Rights Act last month. There are now more than 1,000 cases of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which has prompted fears in surrounding countries in the region.
A Kenyan court has put a pause on the Trump administration's plan to open a 50-bed field hospital in the country for Americans exposed to the Ebola virus. The African CDC has suggested Kenya's government was pressured into housing the center. Some experts also warning that a foreign facility is a strategic mistake, saying U.S. nationals impacted by the outbreak should be brought home. Shannon Kingston, ABC News, the State Department.
Meanwhile, airports in New York, Atlanta, Houston, and Washington, D.C. are stepping up health screenings for flights coming to the U.S. from that region. You're listening to ABC News.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
We hear so much about quality time, but it's the quantity of time that we want. Every member of the family gets enlisted in so many activities. As quality time usurps quantity, there's so little time to enjoy the freedoms that make America the envy of the world. If we could only unplug, disengage, and spend quality time together, well, we can, in an RV. Escape into a whole new world in a Byerly RV.
Byerly RV.
Wherever you go, you're always at home in a Byerly RV.
Great story about Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. One of the wives called up and said, hey, we need an electrician. Call Michael Baldy. And the husband said, no, I can do it. Well, the wife overrode the husband, called up Michael Baldy at 314-968-9999. Maybe she checked the website first, baldyelectric.com. So Michael Baldy came out to the house. While he was at the house, the husband says, well, since you're here, I've got 3 or 4 other jobs for you. It turned out to be an all-day affair. They took care of everything. And so, no, the husband couldn't get it done. Good thing the wife called Baldy Electric, and now the whole house is fixed because of one simple phone call to Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. Indoor, outdoor, brand new commercial building, an old Victorian home, it doesn't matter. Michael Baldy and his team of electricians will take care of you. 314-968-9999, Baldy Electric, or baldyelectric.com.
79 degrees at 5:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter.
The mayor of Festus and 2 city council members will now face a recall vote. The Jefferson County clerk announced yesterday that petitioners filed enough signatures for a vote for Mayor Sam Richards and council members Kevin Dennis and Michael Cook. The 3 are being targeted for their approval of a data center that was opposed by many residents. The recall comes after 3 other council members who supported the data center were voted out of office in last month's election. Brian McKenna was well known in St. Louis sports broadcasting for nearly 25 years before he was killed in March of 2025 when he was hit by a car while walking in South City. In addition to his career in sports media, he was also popular for his dedication to a number of charitable causes, including his role as the brand ambassador for the St. Louis Hero Network. Last year, following his death, friends and fans gathered for a street party celebrating his life. His friend, radio personality J.C. Corcoran, emceed the event, and yesterday on The McGraw Show, he announced that Brian McKenna Day will now be an annual event, and he'll be emceeing again this weekend.
And McGraw, I think we're going to be sitting here 10 years from now still doing this. It really was such a success last year. Somewhere between about 3,000 and 5,000 people throughout the course of the event.
The second annual Brian McKenna Day Street Party will be tomorrow from 2 until 7 p.m. in the 4600 block of Macklin between Devonshire and Nottingham. About a dozen people are expected to graduate from St. Louis Treatment Court today. The intensive program provides treatment, resources, supervision, and judicial oversight to give people the tools they need to achieve sustained recovery. More than 2,300 people have graduated from the treatment court since it started in 1997. This week, the Illinois House approved a bill which would establish regulations on what's called micromobility transportation, which includes e-bikes and e-scooters. The new regulations include age requirements, speed limits, and rules on where they can be operated. Most House Republicans opposed the measure following the attachment of an amendment that included driving under the influence penalties, but only if the bike operator was traveling faster than 28 miles per hour. House Republican leader Tony McCombie was one of the bill's opponents.
The Secretary of State's push for e-bike regulation under the guise of safety disregards the many concerns of utility terrain vehicle owners to protect roads and users. Unfortunately, the measure passed falls short and negates current law for driving under the influence.
Illinois Senate Bill 3336 now heads to the Senate. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. April 2026 new home sales data has been released, with sales weaker than expected, posting a month-over-month decline of 6.2% and a year-over-year drop of 11.3% due to rising mortgage rates and inflation. Now the markets, which are brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow up 363 points at 51,032, NASDAQ up 55 at 26,972, and the S&P 500 up 16 at 7,580. Now let's check in with Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic.
Steve, the Cardinals begin a 3-game series with the Cubs tonight at Busch. Kyle Leahy gets the ball for the Birds. Lefty Shota Imanaga will oppose him for Chicago. And the Big 12 Conference joined the Big 10 in its support of an expanded 24-team college football playoff. In fact, there was unanimous support from every league coach at the Big 12 meetings on Thursday. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. 6455 West is jammed between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 44 West is slow between the King Bridge and 5564. 64 East bogs down around 170. 64 West is busy from Clayton Skinker to McCausland. And in Illinois, 64 East is slow from 111 to 157 due to road work. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District, with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers, with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
We have a 20% chance for some isolated showers today, tonight, and tomorrow. tomorrow, an overnight low in the mid-60s. Tomorrow's afternoon high around 82. At 5:08, cloudy, 79 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Ah, spring. The chirping birds, the warmer weather, the leafing trees.
And spring storms.
When Mother Nature does damage to your trees and bushes, have a Rays Tree Service arborist come by for a free no-obligation estimate. Rays will keep your trees and shrubs healthy all spring and summer. Mention KTRS and receive a free stump grind if accessible with any tree removal. Call 314-821-2665 or online at raystreeservice.com.
You're selling your home and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robangproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, that's our L.A. law theme, and our L.A. lawyer, Royal Oakes, joins us. And Royal, I got to tell you, you got 3 topics here that were sent over earlier in the afternoon, and since then, 2 more have even popped up. So you've got Bondi testifying. Department of Justice is investigating E. Jean Carroll and the roadblock for the $250 bill that Donald Trump wants to put his face on for the 250th anniversary. But since then, a ruling came down about him slapping his name on the Kennedy Center. And another thing just came down. A judge is reopening his IRS $10 billion lawsuit. So where do we even go? Do you want to do like a minute on each?
Sure. In other words, Donald Trump really makes news. So the first one, Pam Bondi, former attorney general, she's hauled in front of a congressional committee, didn't want to be there. But they wanted her to explain what happened with the release of these Epstein documents a few months ago. How come documents came out with the names of alleged victims and they were supposed to be redacted? And she gave a few answers. We're not going to know the full picture until they release a transcript and people analyzing it. But she did kind of throw her successor, interim AG Todd Blanche, under the bus.
Sure did.
Blamed him for some of the problems. But this is just the story that will not die. The Jeffrey Epstein story is going to go on who knows how many decades. But it was not a fun day for former AG Pam Bondi.
And she was not under oath, and some lawmakers complained about that portion of it.
And others wanted it to be public or televised, but Republicans are running the show, and their decision was, let's not make it into a media circus. Let's just try to get to the bottom of it. And she gave some indication as to how it was just an enormous job involving millions of documents, and stuff happens. And unfortunately, some names slipped through that weren't supposed to be revealed.
It seems like the administration, in particular, the president may have missed the little point about the Kennedy Center, that it was named that for a reason and it can't be changed. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think that's basically the idea, and that actually is a link to some of the other stories that you've been talking about.
Yeah.
Namely, Donald Trump wants things a certain way, and he may be right, but people who push back and sue say, hey, Congress is supposed to do certain things, and the idea was just as with the East Room ballroom, you can't do it unilaterally. Congress has to spend that money. Same deal with the Kennedy Center. Congress created the idea of a Kennedy Center, therefore they have to approve changing the name. And when it comes to the Trump face on the currency, that's another story you mentioned. Trump supporters want a $250 bill to commemorate our 250th anniversary, our birthday coming up on the 4th of July. But the congressional law says no living president shall have his or her face on a bill. And Donald Trump supporters say, oh, we're going to change that law, or maybe they're going to call it a commemorative thing. Maybe it won't be an official bill. But, yeah, once again, there's push and pull in terms of Donald Trump's right to do what he wants, whereas some judges are saying, no, that's the province of Congress.
So something I said that he had to take the letters down off the building at the Kennedy Center. Is that true, or is that just going to get, well, they'll appeal it and things will just stay the way they are until the law works its way?
Yeah, the appeal is always possible, and what can happen is that Donald Trump can ask for a stay of the decision about the name pending his appeal up to the Circuit Court of Appeals. So very likely the appellate court will say, okay, we'll sunk our teeth into this because, we don't want to be defacing the building, taking a name down, and then maybe if Trump wins, we have to put it back up. Same deal with the Trump and the weaponization of the Department of Justice. The other story you alluded to is the fact that, remember, recently Donald Trump came out and said, hey, we're going to have a $1.8 billion fund to help people who were targeted for political purposes with criminal prosecutions. And everybody's pushing back, saying, a lot of people are saying, hey, under your plan, your appointees decide who gets the money. Because Trump's folks had said, hey, anybody can ask. Hunter Biden can ask for money if he thinks he was politically targeted. But if it's Trump's appointees who decide where the money goes, that's a problem. Plus, only Congress may authorize the expenditure of money. So once again, a federal judge today, Bill Clinton appointee, came out and said, you know what, that fund has got to freeze. We're not going to kick any money out the door because we probably can't get it back. So we're going to have a big hearing on June 12 to determine whether there'll be an injunction stopping this alleged slush fund pending a trial that could be a year or two down the road.
Royal, 2 points. One, I think I should be a federal arbitrator. For all you got to do at the Kennedy Center, do like they do with college football fields and arenas. The Trump stage at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's an easy fix.
Dodger Stadium just sold their field.
That's
They've
right.
named their field after a company. Or if you want to think outside the box, how's this for a compromise? Instead of the John Kennedy Center or the Donald Trump Center, how about Robert Kennedy? That way you get a member of Trump's cabinet plus the Kennedy name. I don't think too many people are going to go for it.
No.
We're just spitballing here.
The other thing is frequently, I almost said every time, but frequently when the administration and the president make a move, there's a lot of hair on fire and hand wringing and so forth. And it's the end of democracy. But I think most of these things we're seeing that checks and balances that the founders put in place actually work.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a system, given our birthday coming up, it's worked for 250 years. It's produced the most powerful, most successful country on the planet. Basically, we saved everybody's bacon at least twice, maybe 3 times in the 20th century. So, yeah, you're right. The system's worked very well.
And then back to the IRS lawsuit, the $10 billion deal. New York Times just 13 minutes ago said a federal judge in Miami striking turnabout on Friday, reopening the $10 billion lawsuit. Is that to question what they did in the settlement and try to actually take this thing to trial? Or is this a win for Trump and he could get his slush fund and his $10 billion?
Yeah, that's hard to tell. I think once again, the courts are just being cautious and they're saying, let's take this slowly. Let's freeze things because the last thing they want is to have something irreparable. A name on a building isn't necessarily irreparable, but that's what the injunction process is for. I mean, if the Old North Church is about to be knocked down by a wrecking ball, then you go to court and you say, look, Judge, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'll lose at a hearing in a month or a trial in a year. But if you don't give me an injunction right now, the Old North Church ain't never coming back. It's going to be a pile of rubble. So, yeah, I think judges sometimes are just cautious.
Royal, let me throw you a curveball. I don't know if you've been covering it, but are you aware? And you never know until we get somebody we trust like you what the facts are. Is it accurate to say that California is trying to pass a law to restrict independent journalists covering fraud? I can't figure out what's real and what's not.
Yeah, I think that the difficulty is that if you get truly irresponsible journalists doing something that's defamatory, it's malicious, theoretically you can go after them in the court. Sometimes the legislatures go overboard and they try to anticipate problems and they pass rules that are really restrictions on First Amendment free speech
Mhm.
rights. So, yeah, and not to be political about this, but a lot of people have pointed out that California is basically a one-party state. For the last 20 years, ever since Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was a Republican, there has not been a single Republican elected to a statewide office in California, meaning governor, lieutenant governor, a dozen offices.
Yeah.
Everyone elected is Democrat. And every judge appointed by every governor in California for the last 20 years has been appointed by a Democrat governor. Now, if you're a Democrat, maybe you love that. Maybe you say it's about time. But the point is, you're getting a one-party system, and you're not getting a lot of compromise. And as a result, sometimes you get stuff coming out of the legislature that, let's just say, doesn't reflect a lot of soul-searching and taking into account opposing viewpoints.
And you and your colleagues, and we're so lucky to be a part of ABC News, aren't this way, but you see it with some of the legacy media, and I'm concerned about the so-called independent journalists going from journalism to activist. And we're going to try and dig deeper into that next week with a journalism professor. But those are the things that I sit here in my little studio and observe, and I just wonder about.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's face it. Everybody knows pretty objectively that certain outlets are either left of center or right of center.
Yeah.
A lot of people like that. On the other hand, a lot of people, you hear it often, I just want the news. I don't want to
Yeah.
Right.
through somebody's prism. Just tell it to me straight. And unfortunately, that's harder and harder to come by.
All right, Royal Oaks, you covered a lot of stuff. Why don't you take the rest of the weekend off? Royal Oaks.
Thank you. I will.
Yeah, our L.A. lawyer from ABC News. Thanks so much.
You bet.
Okay, I'm going to admit something. For a long time, we went to the same resort on the same beach and went to eat at the same places. That's the way we traveled. And then I started traveling with Altair Travel and Cruises, and my eyes were opened. I had no idea of the many places that I wanted to go, but through Altair Travel, I've done 3 river cruises, and I can't wait to do another one. We've been to Prague, we've been to Budapest, we've been to Vienna, and the great way to travel is with a river cruise because you go into a big city or a small little village, you get back on the ship, you travel the river where you're seeing both sides of land, and that's amazing. And then you wake up in another fantastic destination. I cannot say enough about river cruising. But then maybe you want to go to a beach. Altair Travel and Cruises can find you the best all-inclusive. If you want luxury, they've got it. If you want to kind of watch what you're spending, they'll find you that kind of place too. Altair Travel and Cruises can take you wherever you want to go. There's all kinds of featured destinations online at altairtravel.com. If you know where you want to go or you just want to sit down with an agent, call Altair at 314-968-9600.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. We are in our peak selling and buying season right now. I'm paying top dollar for pristine, low-mile cars and motorcycles, especially Corvettes, Porsches, sports cars, and luxury cars. I'll buy classics, too. Hop on our site and submit your vehicle. Downsizing, estate liquidation, we'll even buy entire collections. If you're in the St. Louis area, I'll come to you and inspect, make an offer on all your vehicles if they're in great condition. You can submit those through our site too, mastercarsinc.com. We are buying, selling, and trading every day for 3 decades.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit mastercarsinc.com to get more details. That's mastercarsinc.com.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They could send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on. It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Great story about Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. One of the wives called up and said, hey, we need an electrician. Call Michael Baldy. And the husband said, no, I can do it. Well, the wife overrode the husband, called up Michael Baldy at 314-968-9999. Maybe she checked the website first, baldyelectric.com. So Michael Baldy came out to the house. While he was at the house, the husband says, well, since you're here, I've got 3 or 4 other jobs for you. It turned out to be an all-day affair. They took care of everything. And so, no, the husband couldn't get it done. Good thing the wife called Baldy Electric, and now the whole house is fixed because of one simple phone call to Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. Indoor, outdoor, brand new commercial building, an old Victorian home, it doesn't matter. Michael Baldy and his team of electricians will take care of you. 314-968-9999, Baldy Electric, or baldyelectric.com.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
All right. Are you afraid to go to the dentist? Is it the drill? Is it the fact that, like Heidi, you don't even know your dentist's first name?
Is it safe?
Is it safe to go to the dentist? Yes, it's safe. And frankly, I look forward to it. Every time I walk out of there, I feel like I'm in a much better spot. And what do they always say? Anything when it comes to health, medical, your teeth, your eyes, your ears, whatever, it's better to catch something early.
Of course.
Than let it fester, and now all of a sudden you're looking at a double root canal. Regular trips to the dentist can catch these things early, and boy, you can avoid the dentist drill just by seeing your dentist more often. But you got to make sure you find the right one. Has your dentist retired? Have you moved, and now you don't want to drag back to the old neighborhood to go to your old dentist? Or maybe you just are ready for a change. Have I got the dentist for you? Sean Landgraf and all the dentists over at the 3-location group, Florissant Dental Services, STL Mid-County Dental in Creve Coeur. That's where I go now because it's right down the street from work. And then now the new one, Lake St. Louis Dentistry, my entire extended family on my wife's side. They all live in and around Lake St. Louis. So I'm talking about it at Christmas. Hey, have you guys tried Lake St. Louis Dentistry? You can find them online at lakestlouisdentistry.com. And everyone's like, Josh, that's something weird to say at Christmas. But I need to spread the word because you need to have a good dentist, someone you can trust, and you can trust the dentists over at lakestlouisdentistry.com. Give them a call now, 636-333-6150.
Josh, what do you want me to do?
You got a story over there?
You get out on the road sometimes. Sometimes, not like Heidi does. This really would be a perfect story for Heidi. Or some of our road trips that we take in the summer. Dolly Parton announced last year that she was partnering with Tennessee Travel Stop to bring her Southern hospitality to the highway, and now it's finally come along. Grand opening on June 24th. It's in Cornersville, Tennessee. Isn't that quaint? Cornersville, Tennessee. It's off of I-65, an hour south of Nashville. This is the first spot to receive a Dolly makeover. More locations are expected to pop up across the country. Some of the amenities, are you ready? The DLY BBQ, Dolly Barbecue, Cup of Ambition coffee from the song 9 to 5, do you recall?
Yeah.
And a Cup of Ambition, a restaurant, a cafe, a dog park, and, of course, merch, stage, and lounge for live music. You can take photos with a custom mural and a tour bus inspired by Dolly's. Additional details on the grand opening festivities will be announced in the coming weeks. If you love Dolly and you want to be there, it's June 24th in Cornersville, Tennessee. More information on Dolly's Tennessee travel stop at dollystravelstops.com.
So this is just a giant.
It's a truck stop.
This is a Wally's, a Buc-ee's, but it's a Dolly's. How about
I'm
that?
sure it'll be terrific. The big
what?
giant truck stops are really good and really fun.
They really are. I'm trying to figure out where Cornersville is on the map.
I-65 south of Nashville, about an hour.
South of Nashville, probably on the way maybe to Birmingham and then down to the Florida Panhandle.
To the Redneck Riviera.
Yeah, your Destins
Where you go.
and your Gulf Shores. So stop by Dolly's on your way through Cornersville this summer, and more to come.
And more to come, they say.
How about that?
That'll be good.
Is that the new thing? And do I need to be wetting my beak on the truck stop?
You're probably too far behind the wave already.
Captain Paul, you've been around a while. You ever been to one of those truck stops where they have the overpass over the highway?
Those are cool.
Right? As a kid, I always, Mom, can we pull off there? And you're like, no, we just stopped, 1 hour ago.
The one going into Oklahoma has the McDonald's over the highway. It's pretty good.
I don't think I've been to one.
I think they have one up in Chicago or the Chicagoland area, and there's always a McDonald's or a restaurant, a Wendy's up there.
Merch.
And do you remember, I had this story, I don't know if you were here, Bob, because it was a couple years old, but one of these big truck stops, rest stops, wanted a Chick-fil-A, but they required
to be open on Sunday.
Sundays, and Chick-fil-A.
I do remember the story.
They said,
sorry.
We don't do that. Find somebody else.
Not our thing.
Not our thing. Captain Paul, if we were driving to Cornersville and leaving St. Louis right now, which roads would be jammed up?
Well, here's what it looks like, Josh. An accident on 170 North at Page is off on the shoulder, but causing a slowdown back to Olive. 6455 West is jammed between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 44 West is heavy between Tucker and 5564. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. And in Illinois, 64 East is slow from 111 to 157 due to road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, Captain, I need you to stick with me here for just a second.
Sure.
I feel like Carney and Julie having you stick around here. All right, so this story is about 4 days too late. This would have been perfect for Memorial Day Monday with the cookouts. We did our cookout on Sunday. But Bush's Baked Beans, which is my go-to I do the bacon maple flavor. They have come out with 3 new flavors inspired by the summertime. Summer limited edition flavors of baked beans. This is baked beans now.
We get it. We get the premise.
The new flavors are apple pie.
And beans?
No.
I'm not done yet.
Get the bleep out of here.
I'm not done yet. Dill pickle, which seems to be everybody wants a piece of the pickle these days.
I could see a little bit of that in there, Cap.
The dill pickle chips.
I'm not a pickle guy, but I can see that that might be good for those who like pickles.
For those who like it, yeah.
Pickle chips, pickle this, pickle that. Everybody loves dill pickle these days. And then finally, They call it Rocket Pop. We all know it as Bomb Pop. Bomb Pop inspired
Flavor in the beans?
baked beans.
Like a popsicle in
Yes.
beans?
The red, white, and blue popsicle.
Robert Kennedy's got to put a stop to these fake flavors. It's ridiculous.
It's like with the apple pie. You've got the apple and the vanilla. Maybe I could see it. The dill, I could totally see because everybody loves dill
Look,
these days.
if there are real chunks of a real apple pie in it, good for you. But we don't really think that's the case, do we?
No, the flavor was made in a lab somewhere, I'm sure. Maybe this is a novelty. Maybe they're not even, a lot of times they're not even selling these things. It's just for the advertisement. But the ice cream truck rolls through Newtown fairly often. And we've got, speaking of slush funds, we have a slush fund in the top drawer in the kitchen.
To run out to the street. And
cash money for Finn to run out in the street. And sometimes we have to jump in the golf cart and chase this thing down. But we were looking at the bomb. He wanted a bomb pop. He's obsessed with flags, and I love it because, we've got flags all over the house, especially this time of year. He got the bomb pop. What are the flavors of a bomb pop?
Blue,
Captain
red, and
Paul?
yellow.
Well, okay, all right. To the corresponding, those are the colors.
He beat me to it.
Corresponding
I love
flavors.
blue flavor.
Yeah. The red is strawberry.
Okay.
The blue is blue raspberry.
Is there a white?
What is the white?
I thought it was yellow. It's white.
It's white.
White chocolate?
Red, white, and blue. What is the white flavor of a bomb pop?
That's a mystery.
Mint.
Nobody? I noticed it because it says it on the sign on the van.
Oh, what's it say?
Lime.
Oh, okay.
So the bomb pop is
That makes
strawberry,
sense.
blue raspberry, and the white is lime color.
White lime, huh?
Yeah. A lot of times when candy is white, it's coconut. Yeah, like a jelly bean. It's coconut flavored.
Yeah.
I want to say that the white Sour Patch Kid, because they also have a red, white, and blue Sour Patch Kid. I think that's pineapple. But when it comes to the bomb pop and the Bush's baked beans, it's going to be a hint of lime with your blue raspberry and strawberry.
Not mine.
And it's not green.
And it's not green. Curious if you're interested in trying the new flavors of the Bush's baked beans, text us 84126. Thanks, Cap.
Thank you.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett with Timberline Tree Care. I'm really excited to announce another reason why we should be taking care of your trees. Timberline is now the only tree care provider anywhere to offer full spectrum tree maintenance programs that are fully guaranteed. Here's how it works. You call Timberline and an ISA certified arborist will meet you at your home. We will develop a plan that includes soil testing and amendment, fertilization, any necessary pesticide applications, and annual inspections by an ISA certified arborist. But here's the best part. Maintenance pruning of your tree is included in this plan. And in the unlikely event that your tree dies while under our care, we will remove it for free. All you have to do is call us and sign up for the plan. We will take care of literally everything from there. There's no obligation, and you can cancel at any time. For tree care that is guaranteed, call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or find out more at stltreecare.com.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis, so if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living, or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com
Before you put your home on the market, before you have to pay money fixing it up to sell it, before you have to pay real estate commissions, call me. I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I will buy your home. Any property, any condition, anywhere, and always as is. Call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. You have nothing to lose when you call Robank Properties at 314-283-0867.
Ever wonder what the KTRS Air personalities look like? Well, now you can. Now streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Sitting at home or at the office, you can now watch the Big 550 live. Just find the Big 550 KTRS on Facebook or 550 KTRS TV on YouTube. 2 ways you can see the hosts in all their on-air glory. We are live, local, and the talk of St. Louis. We are the Big 550 KTRS. Depend on it. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's take a look at some Hollywood news, shall we? Some entertainment from around the world of entertainment. Rom-com queen, I think that's maybe a little much. Sorry about that. A little much, calling her the queen, but Jennifer Lopez says Office romance co-star Brett Goldstein is her #1 love interest in the entire genre.
Brett Goldstein.
You know him, right? He was the foul-mouthed veteran soccer player in
the Ted Lasso show.
Ted Lasso show.
Huh. And this, she's saying this because he's in the newest movie with her.
That they're pushing.
Yeah.
But, well, I'm not saying she's being disingenuous. Maybe a bit overzealous in her.
I would say if she's the rom-com queen, I would say for a long period of time, Matthew McConaughey was the rom-com king.
Yeah.
And I think they were in a movie together. Were they in the Made in Manhattan?
Something like that. Something with a wedding, maybe. Don't they all
the
have
wedding
that?
planner.
Maybe. But I always thought of Meg Ryan, but maybe she's passé.
Oh, and she was the rom-com queen of the 90s. The Wedding Planner, J-Lo and Matthew McConaughey, 2001. And didn't we just have a story where he came out and said, I had to start turning these down, or else I would have been...
And he did. He walked away from a lot of money.
I would have been
Changed
pigeonholed.
his career.
He went to South America or something?
He was gone for a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lopez talks about how Goldstein compares to many of the other actors that she's played with in these movies. She says Goldstein is #1. Let's not mince words here.
All right.
#1. Talked about their great chemistry. He is really good in Ted Lasso. Ends up being the favorite guy. You know, Lasso,
Jason
Sudeikis is the lead. But Goldstein just steals it. He steals it. It's really, really good. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting that she picked him.
Did you see, speaking of that Ted Lasso show, one of the guys that plays one of the footballers is actually making a go of it in minor league soccer?
I did not see that.
Yeah, he's obviously an actor, but he was also a soccer player, which is probably why they cast him so easily. He's in one of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies that Finn watches. And he said, you know what, I'm going to give this thing one last go. And now he's playing in a little minor league soccer here in the States.
Good for him. That's good. Did you see this one? Paul McCartney recently learned that Prince would perform a cover of The Long and Winding Road at his concerts. So now he wants to work with Prince's estate to release a posthumous duet.
Oh, no. Oh,
I'm always a little uncomfortable with those.
Remember
Nat King Cole and Natalie? Was that?
They won the Grammy that year, but I feel like maybe that was just like not a sympathy thing, but like a...
Lisa Marie did one with Elvis.
I think they're cheap. Is that fair? How is Paul McCartney just now finding out that Prince was playing The Long and Winding Road at the concerts?
Maybe he'd never been.
Why doesn't Paul just have a concert and he covers Raspberry Beret?
Maybe he will.
Or what other Prince song should Paul McCartney cover? 84126.
Little red Corvette. Yeah. Who knows? All right, here we go. From September through this May, data was collected, not counting sporting events because Sunday night would be number one, Sunday Night Football. Top 10 shows this
Not
past year.
counting sports.
Not counting sports. Here we go. We're going to just rip through them.
You're going to go 10 to 1?
I'm going to go, I'll start with, all right, we start with 10.
Okay.
Monster, the Ed Gein story.
Oh, my God.
Never saw it.
Ugh.
Never saw it. Not
I can't
interested.
stomach that stuff
No,
anymore.
me neither. I hear this is really good. Didn't see it. I'm like Bill Murray doing the movie reviews on Saturday night. Didn't see it.
Yeah.
But The Pit is number 9.
Oh, everybody loves this show.
Everybody loves it. From ABC Hulu, number 8, High Potential. Never heard of it. You've never heard of it either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
On CBS Paramount Plus, number 7, Tracker. Never seen it. The trailers look really good.
I have caught a couple episodes on vacation because my parents watch it and my brother watches it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Number 6, Bridgerton. No, it's got foreigners. I'm not interested. Number 5 should be number 1, but it did really well. Number 5, my favorite show of the last year, Landman, with Billy Bob Thornton.
A lot of my friends talk.
Terrific.
Yeah, friends talk about it.
Really, really good. Number 4, Sean Combs' The Reckoning. Didn't see it.
Oh, we watched that.
And?
Bad dude.
But was the show good?
The show was good.
Compelling.
But he is a bad guy.
So being number 4 that's good spot.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I don't get. Somebody will have to tell me about it. I've seen 3 episodes. It's awful. Number 3, Marshalls on CBS. It's terrible.
I remember when you said that. Are these rated shows or critically?
No, this is the number
ratings.
of viewers.
Yeah, okay.
Viewers. Number 2, His and Hers. Never heard of it.
His and Hers?
On Netflix. Never heard of it.
His and Hers. Okay.
And finally, number 1, I couldn't get through an episode. It's kind of gross. And it was just too much for me. My daughter loves it. She was obsessed with Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they just had their series finale that aired. That makes sense.
Yeah. Number
That makes
1,
sense.
32.9 million people.
His and Hers on Netflix. John Bernthal, Tessa Thompson. 2 estranged spouses, 1 detective, and the other a news reporter vie to solve a murder.
This is the first I've heard of it. They're both terrific actors.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it now that you told me what it was.
Each believes the other one is the prime suspect. Okay.
I'm suddenly in. I'm a year late, but I'm in.
Okay.
I just didn't know anything about it.
All right, I'm in.
Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day is preparing us for a real announcement about aliens? ?
Now, I can't tell what this movie's about. All I know is it has aliens in it.
Disclosure about people learning about real alien life in a pretend movie.
Yes.
He used to say to himself, Steven Spielberg, wouldn't it be wonderful if all this were true? Now I'm thinking, wouldn't it be wonderful for people to know all of this is true? And so that's what it's all about. What do you think?
I think the premise, from what I can tell, is that they make an announcement that the aliens are already here. And have been for a while.
And it could be your neighbor.
Yeah, do that thing with your... Do that.
And finally,
I'm gonna see it because Steven Spielberg.
I love Spielberg.
Can do no wrong.
Anyway, arena rock. Now, I don't even know exactly how to define this. The Big Four, according to UltimateClassicRock.com, sounds made up.
Current or just all time?
I'm just going to read it. The Big Four of arena rock. So it must be all time because...
I think in the definition of arena rock, bombastic is in there somewhere.
Maybe. Queen.
Okay.
Journey.
Sure.
Bon Jovi. Van Halen.
Okay.
Those, they say, are the top 4. Are you a fan? I guess it's kind of ultimate classic rock. Picked who they think are the Mount Rushmore. Queen, Journey, Bon Jovi, Van Halen. I think we're okay. I think most everybody would say, yeah, arenas and stadiums, okay. Then they ask, what about Kiss, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue? I think they're leaving them all out. This is before your time,
Yeah.
but for fans of a certain age, back me up on this or tell me I'm wrong, because I saw him several times in a stadium and a couple of times in a big arena. Ted Nugent.
Oh, Wango Tango.
Big, loud, filling up the stadium.
Bombastic.
Yeah. Absolutely. I got to say, Ted Nugent should be on there as well. I like their top four. No qualms. Does anybody have qualms? You have no qualms.
I have no qualms.
No qualms.
No, you can have qualms, I think.
Okay.
So I saw an article. This will dovetail on the end of yours. I saw an article that said this 70s band sold more records than Zeppelin, and nobody even remembers them. My dad was obsessed in the 70s with this band, but as I'm thumbing through his old records, I'm pulling out the Zeppelin, I'm pulling out the Stones.
The ones that have lasting power.
I'm even looking at the Mountain album, and okay.
Mississippi Queen, if you know what I mean.
But I never picked out the Grand Funk Railroad albums.
In the 70s,
They
right
were
in that wheelhouse when I was
kings.
in high school,
Right?
they were huge.
They were huge, but nobody ever really brings them up anymore.
American band.
Yeah. I think I'm Your Captain was on a truck commercial.
The girl said, "Come on, dudes, let's get it on." And we proceeded to tear the whole town down. We're an American band.
My dad
Can
always
you ever
said-
imagine any girls actually saying, "Come on, dudes, let's get it on"?
Well,
that was the 70s.
My dad said if Mark Farner hadn't taken his shirt off, the concert hadn't started yet. So, it is.
Oh, that's a great quote.
Are you still listening to Grand Funk? That's my question.
So, does Grand Funk fit even because they had a shorter lifespan?
Shorter run.
And what about my nominee, Ted Nugent?
Ted Nugent.
All right.
84126. Let's hear it.
Ready for birthdays? Nobody else is in here.
Oh,
so
somebody else said AC/DC.
Yeah.
Does that count?
I think so.
Arena Rock.
I think so. I think
Two
that's a
people.
good call.
Two people now.
Well, we can't do the game. Let's just throw a couple of these out. This is in honor of Heidi, who we miss, and will be back in about 10 days. Melissa Etheridge.
Oh.
Take a guess.
Ooh, 67?
65.
Okay.
She is now on the Yellowstone spinoff called Dutton Ranch, and she plays evil. Annette Bening, Mrs. Warren Beatty.
Really?
Oh, she's nasty.
Wow. So she is probably 68.
Bang, got it.
Yes.
Look at Josh.
Yes.
And then finally, I'm sorry to end on a down note, but I just thought this was one maybe you could nail. A heinous act to impress Jodie Foster. The guy who shot Ron Reagan, and now here's a clue. In 1981, he shot the president, John Hinckley.
John Hinckley. The real question is he in jail or is he out?
I believe he's out.
I think they let him out. Wonder how old he was back then.
1981.
So that would have been 40. I'm 44. So if he was 29, 40, let's just call it a good even 74.
Oh, close. 71. You were on the right track. And that's a look at the birthdays today.
All right, before we hit it to traffic, I want to mention the Medicare man, Ryan Raphael. He
Just was in studio.
Came in yesterday, spent some time with us, walked
Great guy.
through some of the processes with us. And frankly, if you have any questions about Medicare and which plans to choose and what's the A, B, C, and the D, he explained it all yesterday. The D is the drugs, the prescription part. Everybody kind of gets A and B. And the C is a supplemental thing. So Ryan can walk you through it. And he's free. He's paid for through the insurance companies who are reimbursed by the federal government, who is running the Medicare plan. And Bob says that he loves his Medicare, and he's already asking Ryan for some time. He's going to go in and see him as well. MedicareManSTL.com. He's my friend. He's your friend. You hear him on the Big 550 all the time. He's nanny approved. You can email him, Ryan at MedicareManSTL.com, or you can just call him, 314-368-6808, MedicareManSTL.com. One last look at the roads with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Josh, no accidents, but 6455 West is jammed between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. 44 West is heavy between Tucker and 5564. 64 East is congested from Clayton Road all the way to Big Bend. And in Illinois, 64 East is a little slow from 111 to 157 due to road work. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, you guys, I want to invite you to come along on my next trip. My next trip, when we go in search of Iceland's magical northern lights with Colette. We are going to experience so much. Let's start with the land of fire and ice, and we're going to go in search of those crazy northern lights every single night with a tour guide. The reason we're going October 23rd is just for that. That's one of the best times to see the northern lights, and our guide's going to make sure we get the best opportunity. But our journey includes a day in the charming city of Reykjavik. You checking out the steaming lava fields, massive glacier sculpted mountains and valleys, and then of course maybe taking a soak in the Blue Lagoon. Don't forget about the black volcanic sand beaches. There is so much to see and do, and here's the best part, at least in my opinion. Colette handles the details, every single one of them. Flights, meals, hotels, local experiences. Your only job is to come with me and have the time of your life. So sign up by calling Altair Travel 314-968-9600 or go to KTRS.com. I hope to see you in October.
Are you helping to take care of a senior-aged parents living at home? How many times are you getting a phone call to help them navigate daily tasks, from shopping online to running errands, doctor's appointments? It can be exhausting and it can be frustrating for everyone. You need to check out Senior Concierge. It's a subscription-style membership dedicated to helping St. Louis area seniors stay connected and confident while living at home. It's as easy as an app, and it's just $79 a month. They'll get access to all the personal concierge support that can assist you with a wide range of needs, from dinner reservations to concerts, sports tickets, home maintenance, groceries, housekeeping, rides to and from the doctors, and so much more. Senior Concierge, convenient, confidence, and connection begins here. Become a member today. Learn more at seniorcstl.com. That's seniorcstl.com, or call 314-270-7800 or seniorcstl.com.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
All right, we're about to get out of here for the weekend. At TGIF, everybody, have a wonderful and safe and happy weekend, and we'll be back on Monday. But I'll give you one random. How about this? Humans can never land on Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, or Neptune. We talked to Jim Ryan yesterday about Mars.
Because
those planets are made of gas and have no solid surface. Is this right? Is this true?
No.
There's nowhere to stand on these places?
No, not really. Well, it
stuff.
depends. It's a
there's gotta be
complicated
a core
answer
that it's built around.
and
right?
I can't get into it in the next 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's a deep tease.
Text Connor over the weekend to explain. Thank you so much for joining us. We're out of here. We'll be back on Monday. Stay tuned for Soccer Weekly coming up right after ABC News, and we'll see you next week.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They could send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on. It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
You know, that honeydew list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honeydew list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
Ah, spring. The chirping birds, the warmer weather, the leafing trees, and spring storms. When Mother Nature does damage to your trees and bushes, have a Raised Tree Service arborist come by for a free no-obligation estimate. Raised will keep your trees and shrubs healthy all spring and summer. Mention KTRS and receive a free stump grind if accessible with any tree removal. Call 314-821-2665 or online at raisedtreeservice.com.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.